Market trying to hold on to positive territory here this morning as we look for more data just coming through. We just got initial jobless claims coming out here on a week-over-week basis to the upside to the tune of 0.4%. That's going to need to be updated once again. That looks a little bit old, so we'll get back to that. But overall, the market, as I mentioned, trying to hold on to positive territory here, coming off huge day yesterday to the upside, led by tech stocks once again. A lot of commentary, a lot of analyst notes this morning, pointing specifically at semiconductors heading into next week with the NVDA print to come. We are expecting a little bit of positive momentum, possibly heading into that. We'll see. SMCI still one of the top trending stocks on Wall Street bets yesterday, along with NVIDIA, along with, the meme stocks. Downside again today, but still some decently high volume behind these this morning, but movement just not there.
Yeah, AMC's already done 12.5 million shares. GME about half that. We'll keep eyes on them. Retracing a little bit doesn't mean that they're off the table and not tradable. But to build on your point, Brendo, about AI and NVIDIA, and specifically SMCI, Dell stock absolutely skyrocketed this morning on the back of that same thing that SMCI is moving off, this server, the AI server market. And we'll recall when they had their event, the Dell CEO was right there. Jensen was basically throwing the business his way.
Yeah, quietly a huge day yesterday for Dell shares. All right, I refreshed. Here we go. 222,000 on the initial jobless claims for last week, below the 225,000 expected there. So a little bit of a downtick. 1.8, we'll call it, 1.794 to be exact on the continuing claims, a little bit higher. So offsetting there, higher on the week over week, not so much on the continuing claims. Import-export data kind of offsetting itself as well. We also got the Philly Fed index there coming through a little bit to the upside, it would appear. So overall, the market did make a move there, initially higher. We're now downside to kick things off, coming off that move yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but my data, my chart's still not right after that, whatever it was that we went through yesterday on our own system here. So give me your thoughts here, guys. A little bit of a quick up move there and then now downside for the futures.
Yeah, well, my chart's looking okay. We had that data thing, so like there's still that gap from yesterday in the pre-market, but everything looks good to me. Look, in context, the NASDAQ, there was a little bit of a dip. It gets hard to see, and that's why I have a 60-minute chart.
NASDAQ does not go down, remember?
Yeah, like look at it. We're still pretty much in the overnight range. You can see it on like a 15-minute chart, the move that we just had on that claims number. Like there you go. Like we initially moved a little bit higher. You had that Philly Fed as well at 8:30 just moments ago, so you did have a little bit of a dip. But we're still very much in the pocket. There's a lot to talk about. There wasn't a ton in terms of earnings, but Walmart, yay. Under Armour, nay. Yuck, Under Armour. Like, look, Under Armour got. I don't have a pun for Under Armour's move to the downside, but it wasn't.
What was it?
No, it wasn't good. I don't know if they moved since then, but it was like 15 or something percent to the downside.
6 down to 550. 6.
Oh no, it's recovered some.
Yeah, it's back to 6. Yeah.
That's not that bad. It still might be a short though.
It's like.
It still might be a short, but that was nasty. NVIDIA 850 to the upside, and what a bounce back in the meme stocks.
Yeah, I was just calling them up.
Yeah, go to AMC chart on Sean.
Ever since 7 o'clock, they turned the machines on here, and then it was just boom, straight back up to the upside. Yeah, when I was looking this morning, I said, oh God, we're down to $4 and change, and then came through, and then all of a sudden we're at 5, and we just touched 550, which was back into yesterday's close. So we were down like 15, 20% or so, all the way down here at 450, and then now all of a sudden back to 550 and battling back around again, 11 million shares. I mean, I think this has a great chance of going again here today, honestly. We talked about this in the after hours, starting to go back to the upside again, 41, 42, and that was those levels that we had discussed yesterday, 41.50 actually, a level that I was looking at, and that was on the downside and on the upside. So right now, yeah, GameStop and AMC both giving some nice levels here in the pre-market, with it being 33 there on GameStop, which we actually saw yesterday as a level, right? And so there's 33 again. I mean, you know, when you're playing these games, you're going to get halts and you're going to get $1 and $2 sort of breaks. So that's why I was saying this yesterday to the guys. It's tough to figure out what amount of share size to use, because your slippage can't just be like, okay, I'm long to 33. It can be, and that's fine. It's just what can happen is just a little break, and you could wipe out like $2, and then all of a sudden it gets bought right back up, kind of like right here. This is 32.50, and it went all the way down to 31 just on one candle. And then if you, let's just say you missed the punch, well, by the time you might have got reloaded back up, you were all of a sudden in the money $2. So you just got to watch out for some of these rapid movements. But yeah, AMC, I traded that more heavily yesterday, and I think you could just use more shares, but I like both of them, AMC and GME today, the volume leaders here in the pre-market.
Yes, sir. And one more for you. I love Lucy today. Well, maybe. I have no idea. I just know there's this LSDI. Shout out to Web Searcher in the chat posting this one. 50 cents to $2. Not bad. It's not about the short float here. It's only 3% short float. It's about the float being only 1.5 million. It's done 10 times the float already, so it's soaked it up and already pushed through. It's actually, the reason I said I love Lucy, it's Lucy Scientific Discovery Company is LSDI, and this chart's kind of on some LSD right now as it heads to the upside. Remember, there's like AMC and GameStop are going to do tremendous volume. You've already had a ton of volume on both of those names, and they're going to play. But FFIE came out of nowhere to be a late-day runner, so I think we want to pay attention to some of these other ancillary names that can go as well. I don't like buying tops at 8:30, but with a 1.5 million share float, this is one that I wouldn't be fighting. Like, I'm not going to short a stock that has a 1.5 million float. Usually on a day one, you're looking for some continuation play. So I'll look back to VWAP if that holds up, but we'll come back to it at 8:30. Lucy Scientific.
Goose is yeah, we were just talking about Canada Goose with earnings coming through as well. China strength helping them out. Wanted to show this though. I mean, this S&P is just, this is the index, the overall futures anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green candles in a row here, straight to all-time highs off that last dip. But yeah, you and I were just talking about this one, Canada Goose, way up here this morning. This is a daily chart. Big gap here on China strength for Goose.
Yeah, not a bad look for them, Brendo. Up nicely here, 1.33 billion in revenue. They printed better than expected, 19 cents a share for profit. The street was looking for 6, as Brendo mentioned. Strength in China there, which is a little bit I didn't anticipate, especially with the consumer spending there being pulled back a little bit. Let's see how they trade. They're up almost 14% already on the morning.
There was a lot of complaints going back to fall of last year about the quality of some of their products going down a little bit, but they've also introduced, I was reading this morning, so many additional products outside of the traditional winter coats that definitely, at least could be helping them here. But yeah, I mean, this stock really hasn't done much, guys, overall this year yet, but nice gap here for Goose today.
It is, although Canada Goose, good company. I still see them all over the place, and if you're like the Bills wide receiver, Keon Coleman, we love that kid. You make sure, even if you're a millionaire, that you buy your Goose and buy your winter stuff in the summer so you get a good deal. Maybe there's some of that going on. Usually it's a pretty seasonal stock, but we like things that turn around, and we love things that roundy face and start going. But this is, without any volume, this would be a great setup if it was, we liked this when Alibaba did it, and recently bought some Alibaba when it made a nice little rounded bottom, higher lows, broke out the 200, then I'm just going long every chance it dips back into the 200 period moving average. And again, Alibaba managed to do this for you just yesterday. But yeah, I don't know about the liquidity and the volume on Canada Goose here. It looks good, probably better for some kind of like a swing idea, giving it to the 50 period. I like what I see up that 14%, and it definitely blew it out in terms of expectations. So, usually you're looking for continuation plays here, but 80,000 in volume. It's a stock picker's market, and one of the things that you do as a day trader is you've got to line things up. Is there liquidity for the move? Is there liquidity to trade? Not just does it look good on the chart, because everything about it on the daily chart looks pretty good. And on an earnings play, normally I'd be all over something like that. But just under 100,000 shares of volume is a little bit light for me. So no O Canada trade for me today.
Yeah, definitely not on that name. But yeah, look, I mean, retail has been pretty hot. Some of the names, we talked about Under Armour there, which is going completely the other way. But okay, I just want to go over to another Canadian name because we've looked at Shopify, and I've just thought that, hey, look, Walmart came out today. Obviously, the retail landscape is pretty strong, and Walmart's been huge. Chart looks great, breaking out. Now it looks great. I didn't think it was great underneath, but now it's great above. Shopify, if you're trying to buy some stocks that have been hit, I think Shopify is one now that is trying to base out down here. Remember when we said, like, why was Roblox even down at 27, 28? Now it's at 34. So I just think that Shopify, again, trying to get above 60 would be nice, and I don't know if we push the trigger until you get above 60. But once you get above 60 on Shopify, then I really think you can use this 58, 57 area as your stop, and the upside on something like this is huge. So I like Shopify in this spot here. Just got to get it above 60, and that's basically a stone's throw away now. So Shopify, for me, if we're talking Canada, is it, not the weed names. Stay off the weed names.
Denied.
You know. Well, maybe they'll be hot again. Let me see. Let me see what's Tilray doing, actually. Hold on a second. Maybe you want to get on these maybe you want to get on these weed names. All right, down 1%. Okay, that's not looking so good. Let's just.
No, they're not doing it.
I'm just trying to look at. So for me, Tilray, I don't even know why we segued into this. Oh, yeah, I guess just because of Canada. Yeah, still above 2, so I mean, it's not horrible. The other one that a lot of traders will look at is CGC. Of course, this has been reverse split. Obviously, I wish it was still at $10, but you know, big move. We had sort of the meme weed craziness a couple weeks ago where we started this day at 3, all the way back up 980. Remember, our charts aren't going to be exactly right when you're looking at that, but $9. This is actually looking pretty good. CGC trying to hold up. I don't know, I guess in the environment of the political landscape being a election year, you know, potentially some opportunities there. Scott's Miracle Grow, I think, is the safest play because they have other uses as well. But we talked about this, I think it was with Michael Noss. I'm not sure, it could have been with Chris Brecher. We talked about Scott's Miracle Grow being a good play in the weed space as well, just because, again, people being able to grow their own stuff. So Grow Generations brand, another one.
Or you could just buy a Doge breakthrough 16.
Is Doge finally going?
No, it's not. It's no. You know what's interesting is because in the afternoon show, when I realized we had the quote on it, I was like, oh, maybe there's going to be the breakout. And then of course you come into today and it's pulling back. But it is what it is. I actually don't mind CGC. I just don't know what the catalyst or when the catalyst is going to be for it to break out this 1030 level, 1030, 1040. Like you get this, like a pullback like that immediately finds a bid at about 1040. Then you see the support in there, fall apart, resistance, 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 rounded bottom. That looks like a break through 1040. I just don't know what actually gets it there today, especially with all the eyeballs on AMC, GameStop, now this Lucy stock, FFIE was a runner. There's just been so many other like more heavily involved retail names, momentum names the last week that it almost feels like these names that got put on the back burner. Like usually that kind of recovery, you get like 1 or 2 good pumps out of it because it went $15 to $10, actually to $9. Usually you think there's like a $1 move that you can get on a breakout at some point. Just hasn't been there because everyone's looking at the meme stocks, and rightfully so because that's where the volume's been, everybody.
All right, a couple other things moving around here. Here's Deere, DE, downside to the tune of, 5.5% so far this morning. 415, I guess, yesterday. We're all the way back to 390. I mean, there's a lot of cost issues here as far as growing food and the farming side of things and demand for their products hurting not only the bottom line, but the forecast going forward.
Yeah, exactly your point there. I mean, what they're saying, this article is saying that the income for farming is down, and that's caused less purchases of combines, less purchases of tractors. Also, interest rates also to hurt demand for that as well. If you're financing these things at 7, 8, 9%, you're less likely to want to take something on at the moment. So.
It's crazy. And I mean, some of these, like you were saying, like combines, like the big monstrous, like they're $200,000 for some of these larger pieces of equipment anyways. But I mean, not necessarily a day trading stock, guys, but Deere getting hit here today.
Diggleboy in the chat, Deere is an AI play with autonomous tractors. That is also true. That is going to happen. I would tend to agree that it's a very low-key tech name, and I agree with this. And I say the same thing about Caterpillar as well, which I prefer. Different sectors a little bit, but I'm a much bigger fan of, say, Caterpillar when you look at Caterpillar on a daily chart versus Deere on a daily chart. Both of them have had a bit of a pullback, but Deere the last couple of years, it's been going sideways, which means there's room to explode. There was a golden cross on this thing, and it had like eight up days in a row right off that 390 level, and it looks like it's trying to bounce that same spot. So there's some support on Deere, but much like Canada Goose, it's done 90,000 shares worth of volume. So it's not really, like, you can see how sparse the printing is on Deere. I don't know if it's a trading stock, but if it can hold that 200 period moving average the next couple of days after earnings, and that looks like a good opportunity to come in. I mean, I think they are a good play. Again, I own Caterpillar, and I don't really have any interest in owning Deere, but I do like what I see off that 200 period. There's been so many great bounces off these levels on the goods on high quality names that when they start holding a couple of days, you've been pretty good just getting in off of that. But you got to let it simmer for a couple of days here. Very, very light volume early.
Yeah, the thing about Deere was they did have, like we just said, EPS beat, revenue beat, but I guess the guide there not the greatest. So lowers its 2024 outlook. Yeah, now expects only a net income of $7 billion.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's
that's
damn,
awful.
this fledgling company.
Oh.
That could be a word of the day, maybe. Professor over there. I don't even have the button, and that's not good enough. Wait, save it for the midday show. Forget it. That's a pretty shitty word.
I don't have word.
No, it's not a good word. It might not even be a real word. I don't even know what it means. I'm just saying stuff. I'm just saying random stuff. No, but what I wanted to go over here, just real quick. Look at this. 390 is what we're getting to here. That's the 200 period moving average. There's often 200 period moving average plays that we like. And I think in this name, although whether or not Caterpillar is better, you can find some different agriculture names, but at the end of the day, this is at the 200 period moving average. So Caterpillar is going to be way above it, so you're kind of buying strength there. But if you want to take advantage of a potential miss, and a guide for it, they did not miss, but a bad guide that could not maybe be a sandbag or so. We'll see. I mean, if China gets back going again, like, would we buy Caterpillar at 300? Probably, if it dips back into that area as well. So there you go. You're getting a little bit of a move down. I would say you either buy Caterpillar on weakness because of John Deere, or just go in and buy Deere itself. So Deere down 5%. I do not mind that. Is GME back to the bottom there at 34? Is that what people are saying right
35
now?
35 right now.
Yeah, okay, 35. So I already have a bid in. I already have a bid in on AMC at 460 or 470. I don't think that's going to hit in the pre-market. Well, maybe it does. I just wonder if we get this little push. Yesterday early, we got a push on the imbalances. Today there's not. Well, yeah, Palantir's here, baby. We get a little bit of a sell on AMC, but there's GameStop as well. So not huge, right? 4 million shares today, only 100,000 for a sell. So that's not going to be big, but let's just keep on looking at these numbers. And if they increase one way or the other, we'll try to bring those to your attention. So right now, AMC and GME, both with sell pressure. Fabian. No. We didn't show the whole imbalance locator there. I was talking about it the whole time. We got AMC there as a sell, and then GME as a sell as well. We were showing some Netflix chart there, I believe. Yeah, Ford's there as well. So there's Ford for Randy. Now Randy's here.
What's up, Randy?
What's up? Nothing? Nothing. So what, did you buy AMC up there at $13 the other day, or? Huh? Did not? You're not one of those apes up there? Look at that. Look at this tick up here, $13. All the way down to 5 and change right now. What was the last time you went to the movie theaters? Well, I'm asking.
It's been a while. It's a couple years.
All right.
Do you remember what you saw?
No.
Yeah. Randy is not. Did you never bought some Faraday, the FFIE?
No.
Didn't you see you?
Sharif and I were talking about it yesterday. It's
17 cents,
not on my
man.
radar. I know they're just the kind of.
People are noticing the haircut as well.
Yes.
We talked about that yesterday, though. We talked about that yesterday.
I don't remember the day, but I do remember we had never talked about Faraday on the show, and this was months ago. And Randy comes by just like this, and he's like, "Look at Faraday futures. At 17 and a half. It was at 17 and a half cents
What's
that
it
day.
at
now? It's at 70 something cents. But you don't like it anymore.
No, it's not that I don't like it.
Is
It's fell off my radar. They just, again, static lineup, not much in the news. I promised Sharif I would keep an eye on it for him, and I will do so.
I mean, if you liked it at 17 cents months ago, it went down to like 1 cent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now,
So.
it went to 1 cent. Oh, good.
Yeah, it's low. It's split one.
It could have
It's
been
low as 4 cents.
Could have
you
been
gotta-
delisted. And
You got to
then-
buy that 4 cents.
It's low as 4
Yeah.
cents.
Well,
So-
you liked it at 17.
Coffee time?
I would love a
Yes,
coffee. Would
please.
love a coffee. Every
Appreciate it.
time is coffee time,
Yeah, I mean, more or less.
especially in the AM. First time this Kevin has ever heard Randy speak.
No. Randy
Well, it
speaks
could be a
all-
new viewer. Could be a new viewer.
Welcome to the show, Kevin. Yeah, because Randy does speak all the time.
He speaks. He does speak.
He knows his autos. That's a fact.
He knows his autos. All right, over to wherever we want to go.
We'll touch on Netflix real quick, coming off that huge move initially yesterday. If you're with us in the pre-market and then late in the day yesterday, two different angles to keep in mind here for Netflix, trying to get back below 615 right now. But there was that NFL story that came out, trying to get not one but two Christmas Day games for next year. Also, 40 million now global monthly active users for the ad-supported tier. You and I were just saying it would be interesting to see the actual ad sales revenue attached to that, not necessarily the subscription revenue,
Yes.
which is great, obviously 40 million, but how many ads are they actually selling?
Well, I think that that's a great point because the more you watch with the ad tier, the more they make, right? Whereas if you're just paying a one flat fee per month, that's all they make from you. So look, they increased their ad tier users to 40 million. Compare that to last year, they had 5 million people on that tier. And there's probably a reason for that. They're outcompeting their competition. A $9.99 for the ad tier from Warner Brothers Discovery. $7.99 from HBO Max and Disney. And so they're at $6.99, obviously American, not Canadian.
Yeah.
But that's a good look for them. And I was telling you off camera, those two NFL games that they got, the cost of a cheap movie, Brendo,
Yeah.
with way higher viewership. So
Yeah,
not a bad move.
when you think about it from that standpoint, makes a lot of sense. Let's get some analyst moves for you this morning, and Deere has that over at the screen.
Deere.
We have Intel to kick off the list. You're getting an upgrade from Wolf Research. Then Hut 8 as well, getting this upgrade from Craig Halliam. They reported before market open yesterday, so recent earnings play here. Wayfair getting this upgrade from Argus, up about 2%, and 3M getting an upgrade from Vertical Research. On the downgrade side, Occidental, Warren Buffett name, getting kicking off this list here with this downgrade from Truist. We have Cirrus Logic getting a downgrade from the benchmark company, Camtech getting downgraded by Northland Capital, and last but not least, another Truist energy-related downgrade here, EOG Resources, guys.
I feel like there's a bunch of like puns that I could make about Buffett's secret purchase of Chubb, but I'm just going to leave them all alone. Later in the day, maybe after a Blue Chew ad. Hut 8 reported, and realistically, there's Mr. Buffett.
Hello, Warren?
You want to get that one. You can't
Well,
miss
because
the
I was talking to
call.
him yesterday, he wanted to know about GameStop, and we didn't connect because I had a game, and he left me a voicemail last night and everything.
Oracle calls, you got it.
Keep forgetting to.
No, actually, like Hut 8 doesn't really look that bad. We saw Mara go like a bajillion% yesterday to like $20. I think it was up double digits on Mara yesterday. But Hut 8, it's been a pretty tight range. But you look at it at this $9 level, it's like if it can take out this little top here, that's like $9.15. There's some room for a rally. There's $10 up there. So you get an upgrade. You've just come through earnings. It was a positive reaction to it. It doesn't seem to do a lot of volume. This is why we trade Mara instead, because 80,000 in volume versus 1 million in volume right now on Mara. Similar
That was
looking
quick,
chart
bro.
yesterday, but
Very quick.
Already got it.
Very quick.
Randy, someone already asked your thoughts on Ford today, which is exactly flat. It's not even moving.
Yeah, no, that's it doesn't matter. It's not moving. Hey, what would be? I got a good question for you from a viewer. If you could have a dream car to ride around on a Sunday afternoon, Man, you can come back. You can get some time.
No,
you already got it?
I know you know because you were saying this the other day.
You know what it is?
I don't remember, but we had that conversation, and it was, oh shoot, no. I'd have to think about it.
Come on, Neil.
It was like a month ago.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, it was a month ago. If you gave me
Secret?
an hour, I could probably come up
A
with it.
month ago.
Should we keep
Neil,
everybody
come on.
in suspense?
I mean, I can't even remember what we had for dinner last night, but.
I had for dinner? Chicken and rice.
Oh, for dinner? No, I was trying to think about your car.
Oh,
I actually remember what we had. We had pork. We had pulled pork sliders.
yum.
Yeah, we didn't get in until later. We had a 3-2 victory. Who would have thought Little League 3-2 victory, a pitcher's duo in 6 innings?
Usually it's
Wow.
like
2.
15 to 7.
Yeah, I pitched a guy 3 innings, then someone came in for 1, and then I got my closer in there for the last 2.
How's your voice?
Gia hit a huge. Gia is like something else.
It's a cycle.
See, I think it has to be a classic. Like there's a classic car in there for you.
There's
Like I know you're a Porsche guy.
No, it wasn't
Porsche.
So I'm thinking that it has to be some kind of a 911. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, so at least I'm here. But I don't know enough about the best year or I don't know.
He was very specific.
I know, that's I knew I would have the brand and the car, but
You're definitely Porsche guy.
I didn't know.
We'll keep the rest of us in suspense.
All
for
right,
now.
all right.
Come back in the
suspense.
afternoon and let
All right,
everybody know.
all right. And Ford is not moving
It's
at all.
literally not moving.
Shout out to Sebastian who asked that question. So. All right, back over the desk.
I don't even understand how that happened, but we were just talking about this AI side of the equation here once again coming through. I mean, what you were talking about is, I think, the next level, but so we were just having a discussion about podcasts in general and the fact that now there's technology where you can literally just feed it a topic, feed it research on a topic, and it will spit out a podcast.
Exactly. Like, let me just give this example. I have to. I got this. Get this off my chest. So there was there was a little tidbit that I saw on my favorite social media platform, TikTok, yesterday, and essentially what it was an excerpt of the Google I/O event. And the guy basically he took this PDF. It was a physics PDF, and he has a son who's in grade 12, 12th grade or whatever, and he wants to learn the subject matter. So he threw the PDF into the new Gemini, and it created a podcast between a man and a woman who were discussing the topic back and forth. And then it could be interrupted by the user saying, no, give it to me in a basketball analogy, a football analogy. So there's the two AIs will start talking about that, and they'll discuss it with a third person. I thought it was next level stuff.
But I mean, I asked you this already, but legitimately, are you spending an hour or 2 hours of your Saturday morning listening to 2 AI opinions?
No, only if I'm studying. If I was studying for exam, like I can see the value as a student, but not like as a disinterested observer.
Crazy world. All right, let's have a look at the market here to kick things off. Sharif will lead us off here with a look at the futures.
53.32, guys. That's where we closed off. That's yesterday's closing print. It takes us all the way back to March 31st, the high that we closed out there. So let's see if 53.50 comes into purview today. If we don't break that level, let's look for 52.15 as that level of support.
All right, if you have not done so, absolutely free resource for you from us. Go to the website, tradertv.live, wait for that pop-up, enter your email address, and that's it. It's as easy as that, comes right to your inbox every single morning with everything you need to know on it. Let's talk meme stocks. As the guys were mentioning, nice bounce back here for AMC so far. In the pre-market, we are pulling back to $5 right now, but that was definitely a level throughout the day yesterday and after the close as well. As you and I were saying this morning, volume's still here, but not a lot of price action so far this morning.
Not yet, Brendo. I mean, AMC down 7.5% coming into that $5.50 level that it closed out yesterday. We'll see if that acts as a level of resistance. I'll throw it to the big kahunas, though. They got
Yeah, I was reading an article this morning talking about volume specifically and comparing, to what happened back in 2021, and it's nowhere near the same as far as on a one-to-one basis. So much lower across the board this time around, guys.
I think is the one to look at. We've been putting out some videos here last couple of days. I traded this extremely heavily yesterday, and I just, I had to respond to Warren there. I mean, I can't leave the guy hanging. 460 bottom. I mean, I marked that down. I was getting out the sticky note. I marked that down there. No, Jerome, no. No, I don't have time for that. You know, what's he going to say? Oh, we're data dependent? Come on, Jerome.
Exactly.
I discussed this with him last Thanksgiving, over turkey. 460 right there. That was the bottom, remember, in October, and then boomed upside. I guess that was Canadian Thanksgiving.
It was Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's, you got to invite those Americans over for that.
They don't know what's up with
because
ours.
U.S. Thanksgiving got football and all that. All right. I just think that this little bottom there, 460, this only starts at 7 o'clock, so there are different levels here. But at the end of the day, this 480, I really kind of like that level coming back in. I think we want to play dips today on AMC and on GME. And I'm only really, I paid for shorts. You got to pay for shorts because there's a possibility that happens as well. But if you're just going to look at yesterday's levels here, that was 41, so we had talked about that. Now, why might 41 be of concern? Well, right off the open, that's sort of where the halt started, and then we never got back up to that level again. So if we're thinking about an upside move, look at where the bottom was. The bottom was also signified by a halt. So halt top, halt bottom. And then we just traded top, basically, and bottom again. So both of those levels held, and then 33 basically held again here in this afternoon or this morning. So for me on GameStop, I wrote down here, let's look at 32 longs for GameStop. I think we could fall in there off the open. We went yesterday from 42 down to 31 by the time it was 10 o'clock. So that's $11 straight off. So you go down $11, that's going to be a problem. So let's just wait to see what happens in and around 32. If we get some bounces there, then that's where I like this stock. I think you got to try it. And then, AMC again yesterday, a little choppier in the afternoon, a little bit of back and forth action there. But at the end of the day, it looks like we're trying to hold $5. So that's going to be a number. That's VWAP is right there. That bottom is what we're looking at, 460, 470. So, yeah. I think today we have levels. And I don't think it's a short down. I just don't think it's a short down here. That's all. I'm not just saying that. I just think that we've been hit so far now that this could be another day. I don't know.
I feel like we finally came back to that bottom level, the afternoon level from a few days ago on GameStop. Because the massive parabolic day was the 14th. And the day before that, you had a very tight pullback range of like 20, it was like 26.89 was the halt price there, and then 27 ends up holding, and then the top end of that range was like 32. So you essentially dipped down in on the halt, and then it wanted no part underneath that price. So it's like 31.5 in there. I think it's right around, it's like in and around where we closed on the 13th. That's your support level. I have 42 marked off, but it was like 41.70 or whatever that halt top was after the aftermath. But the one thing I would say differently, because I kind of look at it the same way, like we have some halt levels to play off of, and I just want to play them. But if there's halt levels that present themselves this morning off the bat, then I want to be able to react to those too. Like if we go into another series of down halts on GameStop, then I'm going to be looking for the first one that holds. And when you have a halt to the downside there, you open up and regain the bottom. Sometimes it's a break back through the first even dollar level that you're trying to grab. It's going to be short sell restricted today, regardless of it being down 10%. They were SSR yesterday, so they're SSR today. Because they were 10% down yesterday. Both of AMC and GameStop are going to be short sell restricted today. And unless they close again under 10%, this will be the last day that they're SSR. At least they won't be tomorrow. Still have a whole day to go. So I want to be able to react to some of those halts. If they do happen, I'll be looking for the reversal play on GME. I've paid for locates because I always want to be prepared. It's just more flexibility in throwing orders, and they were very cheap here at Real Trading. You're paying fractions of a cent because they're just day trades. You're not holding it overnight where it's very expensive for borrows there. But yeah, let's look for the halt levels. I think you could see a halt off the open like yesterday.
Yeah.
Look good.
All right, semiconductors, as I mentioned this morning, this is just one of them, but a number of positive notes here ahead of earnings next week coming up on NVIDIA. Wedbush reiterating an outperform rating, $1,000 price target for Wedbush. But it seems just out of the blue here, a lot of focus and a lot of attention going back to semiconductors here.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's been the case for a while. Let's keep an eye here on Intel, because it got the nod today from Wolf Research, basically boosting the price target there. But they still remain cautious about the company, Brendo. They say it's down 37% year to date. It's not likely to make any money from its new foundry business until 2027, but they do see possibility for gross margin improvement starting from next year. So we'll keep eyes on Intel and up 1% already.
AMD over NVIDIA today. And I know AMD, look, NVIDIA has been an absolute moonshot. Yesterday getting to 948, I think was the high, and you're pretty much back into this double top that was at like 970 and change. They report next week. If they blow that out, you're going to be in the thousands on this one. But it's because it's how big the rally's gone, and you're already back at these tops. I know it's $20-something away, and obviously that's still a good hefty amount in terms of a day trade. But when I see that at the overhead resistance and I contrast that with where AMD is kind of sitting, where it's just kind of rounding off the bottom, bouncing off the 200, trying to break back out here. Like it could go a couple of ways. I mean, if we just go ham, 163 could break, and then I think you've got room to the 50 period. That's $5. The other way to play off of this is as it starts to dip back down, if it resists this move in here, then I just kind of like this little clump we have, 59 into 60 at the close, and that's what I'd be looking for a dip by. If we get to, if NVIDIA gets to 970, 975 today, I kind of feel that's going to be a short level. It's a long way away, but if you're not ready for NVIDIA to do a big move, then you're not watching the right stock. If it gets up there, it's not a pie in the sky that it can go 3%. So that it can go 3% in an absolute heartbeat. So if we get to that triple top on NVIDIA, I'm looking short at that level.
Yeah, 3%, yeah. NVIDIA was crazy yesterday. SMCI was $100 yesterday. Look, I'm going to keep this real simple. I'm going to make the sticky note as simple as it can be moving forward, man. Levels, prices, couple notes. That's it, end of day. AMD 160 long, Intel 31 long. Upgrades all over the place. I like the levels here. Intel's been beat up so much. This is why a few weeks ago I said to Brendan right there on our podcast, which we're about to launch another one, you're going to find out that I asked about why not just step into the diamonds instead of the NASDAQ? You know what I mean? Come on, Intel. Because we had so many beat up names. We had UNH, we had Intel, all of this. And then look what's happened since. Bang, straight there up to the upside. This pulled back so nicely. We talked about possibly picking up some of this down there. 378, they got hit down on bank earnings. This is the Dow Jones 30, huge move back up to the upside. I don't know why I'm talking about this when I'm talking about Intel, but at the end of the day, Intel's going to get it right. It's just, we've already talked about this numerous times. I like Intel today. Good upgrade, above 30, well beating the market. If you're going to play relative strength and levels, then that's exactly what I'm all about. So 31 long right here on Intel is something that I'm down with. And then I've been pushing AMD long 150s since it's been above 150. I just look back. There's about, see, I keep all the sticky notes right here. It's kind of ridiculous, but I keep them all right here just so I can really not do anything with them other than kind of reference them. So we have a whole bunch right here. And I've been having AMD long since weeks and weeks and weeks, almost on every sticky note. So we're going to do it again here today. Watch out for 160. The only thing is, it's coming in pretty good right now. It's already at the 200 period moving average. We may have to be a little careful with this and not stand in front of 160. But if we do, you still got a lot of support at 159. So unless this market really doesn't like jobless claims, being 222 versus 219. Obviously, we got a bad Philly Fed number as well. There's going to be more Fed speak. But hey, AMD, NVIDIA, and the likes, the market's at all-time highs. AMD is still down quite significantly from its all-time high. So if you're buying something right now and you like the space, I think AMD and Intel both work. NVIDIA is a stone's throw away from all-time high. Meanwhile, AMD is like, huh? We're in this. We're in this too. So I don't mind some AMD down here, to be honest. I might actually pick some up. I might pick some more AMD up. I don't know.
I was waiting in the 20s for Intel. I'm not gonna lie. It was
on the 20s.
Intel 25 was the level. I'm like, it either gets to 25 or I wait till. I'd say it was like gets to 25 or I wait till the end of the year or next year on that stock. But it's actually starting to round that bottom off.
I was checking. They must have cut.
No, they cut the dividend.
Yeah,
which is what you have.
Oh yeah, that was a long time. It's only 1.6. I was gonna say.
Because they have to spend so much money on the whole foundry. It's capital intensive, right? So they cut the dividend so that they can get things right. Like that. They actually
that's fine.
They probably did that too late in my
I remember it was 5 or 6, and that's why initially I was like, oh, we got to buy some of this, but then they did cut that dividend. So, anyways,
Walmart.
it's nice to get a dividend in a chip name. So,
Yeah.
all right, Walmart.
All right, brought to you by our friends over at Blue Chew. Guys, remember the good old days when you were always ready to go? Well, those days don't have to be over. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in a convenient, chewable tablet form at a fraction of the cost. Sign up today. BlueChew.com. Use the promo code TraderTV. No awkward doctor's visits, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, delivered right to your door. Just pay $5 shipping. Try Blue Chew free. BlueChew.com, again, promo code TraderTV. Yeah, Walmart, nice beat here across the board. I was just double checking. 8 a.m. was the earnings call. I saw all of 2 comments from that earnings call, so wasn't too exciting.
No. Well, all the excitement was left for the earnings report. So here we go. Revenue, $161.5 billion, beating the street's estimate of $159. That's a nice move up there. 6% year-over-year increase in revenue. Net income, a cool $5.1 billion. Compare that to last year on the quarter when they printed $1 2/3 billion, so a big beat there. The takeaways are as follows. Strong e-commerce, they're attracting more high-income shoppers. The grocery business is doing well because restaurants are more expensive apparently, and they raised their full-year guidance, so a bit of a beat there.
You and I were just saying, I mean, living in the city, it's where there isn't the big box type format of stores. I'm sitting here right now today. I don't remember the last time I was in a Walmart.
Yeah, well, there's none in my area either.
And when Amazon brings stuff right to your doorstep, sometimes same day, it's tough. But like you said, nice numbers across the board here.
I household orders from Walmart like a couple times a month at least. And every time I'm in spring training, like Walmart's like the only place that we go to. My daughter loves going there. I don't know why that store, it just is what it is. She's like, can we go to Walmart? I'm like, sure, sweetheart, whatever you want, man. Like it's
Walmart has toys and they have food
they got everything.
and they have all that.
So look, I like Walmart. Look, they gapped above the previous all-time high here. So you have like a blue sky sort of setup with Walmart. Post-split, that high was like 180 something, but now it's like 61.5 is that double top. So 61.5 double top. It's through all of those split prices from way before, and essentially you've gapped above it. So you're at 63.5, $2 away from that previous level on the daily. And generally speaking, on an earnings play, like I'm looking for that something of a pullback into that 61.5, like maybe you get it at like 62 or somewhere in there in front of the previous high for a long. It's carried so far away. When I sat down, that looked like more of a possibility after their report. Now it's looking relatively unlikely that you can pick this one up around that 61.5 level. I wouldn't say impossible, but a $2 drop would be pretty hefty. Could happen at the open, but I promise you this, at the open, I'm going to be looking for a GameStop hold to play. So I won't be on the bid of Walmart because at 9:30, I'm going to be looking at the same 2 stocks I've been looking at every single 9:30 this week.
Yeah, I kept it simple. I put Walmart on the list as well. I think dips into VWAP need to be looked at there. It was a nice quarter, great name, great long-term hold, and I think people will come in and buy it. So I like Walmart here as well. But I was looking at it yesterday, and you guys remember I was saying, like, I didn't really think that we had a great looking chart, and I still don't. I still go by. So we're up here today. So we've already broken higher. We're at 63 actually. So I just thought under the 50 period, having a hard time breaking through 61. Felt like there was more people betting against Walmart than betting for them. But today, those traders are either covering or whatever, breaking back above the 63. Well, we're at 63 now, but 61, 61.50, which is why I wrote down here dips into VWAP, because I like this level 61.50, and I actually think that we do get a decent pullback into that. So I want to wait for it, and why we said VWAP is that right now is at 62.80, but the play for VWAP, if you guys watch, is not to take that immediately, right? We got to see the action that happens in and around that level. So we already had a move back in, dipped off of that, and I actually didn't even notice that we dipped off VWAP the first time. But it already held once there, that's 62.30. So right now we have it at 62.80 right now. So I'm looking at 62.80, but again, not something that I'm looking at early. I want to see how it trades around the open around VWAP. But what's up to JC here? How do we feel about punching long AMD? Yeah, I mean, we sort of went over that, JC, so thanks for dropping this in there, but we're going to address all the super chats. So I have AMD long on my sticky note for 160. But the thing is, we just talked about this level 159. I think you nailed it right on the head, JC. Like, this is where I said, even if you take a 160, you still are going to want to see what happens down here at 159. Yesterday afternoon, this was the punch long, 159.30 when it broke. And then you got a nice move. I mean, it was just into the close, but you got a nice move up to 159.70. So I think this is the level, and I love that idea. Get underneath it, watch the market rip, and then punch the long. I think that's great. You can even do it at 160. Like if it comes down to 159 and holds and you're not long, then you could get the punch through 160 again back there to the upside. The only problem with standing in front of these stocks is if this market for some reason wants to go down. Remember, we just hit all-time highs on all US indexes, S&P, Dow, NASDAQ. I mean, not on Russell, and there's some that didn't. But at the end of the day, AMD yesterday opened up at 154, went all the way to 158 in the first 7 minutes, okay? So that was $3, then it retraced that whole $3 again, well, 250, back down to 155. So, if you drop down $4 or $5 here today, then yeah, you're gonna be into this 158 area where I think it's just a great long. So I like that, JC. Thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, keep those super chats coming. Neil and I can talk about this all day long, literally.
Literally, yeah.
Now watch.
Well, that's what we do.
All right, there's a little low float IPO that happened yesterday. JDZG, just popping up in front of me here once again. 2 million shares offered yesterday at $4. So a big move here in the pre-market from $4 up to 11. It's all the way back to 6 already. So just wild already. Just a couple of people mentioning. Again, IPO yesterday, 2 million shares on that. Let's talk about Chinese ADRs here. A couple days in a row here for Alibaba. This slow, steady march higher continuing here. It was actually this one, though, with their report, JD.com, nice pop. On better than expected earnings coming back in as of right now, though.
Yeah, strong revenue growth here, Brendo. 7% year-over-year increase in revenue to $36 billion on the quarter. That's a good look for them. Net product revenue increased 6.6%. Their net services revenue, they have that as well as part of their product lineup, 8.8%. The CEO basically said, in the first quarter, our focus was on user experience, which helped drive our growth. Yeah, not much else to say other than that. Really details a little light on this.
Yeah, the entire group benefiting, though, from this. I was just noticing this as well. Tough to see, but 60% now on the month for JD, guys.
Yeah, JD's been on an absolute tear, and oddly enough, I was pointing to Shreve this week, it had a golden cross on the daily chart. Like, it just happened. Before earnings, it's kind of, beware of those. Like before earnings, it's a pretty meaningless thing. I mean, whether you like them or not, in general, when you have a catalyst like that, that's not going to matter at a technical level. But JD's not the one I'm interested in. Yeah, Alibaba, ever since we broke that 200 period moving average, it's up on sympathy today. You've been riding the 200 with support, with the exception of this nice reversal off of that 78, 79 area. You had the big Huadunk on the 14th, and then since then, it was a nice rebounding day yesterday. You had one good chance at a dip buy, and then another one in the afternoon off of 1850, and then it just kind of glided higher. I've been all about the afternoon VWAP trade for Alibaba, generally speaking. It's like try to catch it late here, either late morning when it bounces VWAP or afternoon when it bounces VWAP, as long as the pattern holds, where you break down and don't take out previous support. That'll be it's at 81 technically, but I'd probably give it a little bit more room to 80.5 today on any kind of a dip. And if there's no dip buy because we're looking elsewhere and it trends back up, that VWAP retrace and bounce play has been gold on Alibaba because it's worked, I think, 7 out of the last 9 times in this little bit of an upward trend that Bob has been on. So that's where my mind's going to be, not necessarily JD.
Yeah, okay, so same thing for me as well. We've been on that Alibaba tip for a while, but we haven't really traded it that much because for some reason, I still remember, why did you hurt me so much, Alibaba? The last time it was down at 70, I actually went long here and somehow lost on a 70 long on the day trade. And we had since made some better trades, but huge move. I really like Alibaba. I honestly think that if these Chinese names are going to continue to go higher, I was actually thinking about something. Maybe you just buy FXI and hold it all day. You know, like watch to see what it does. If it bottoms out, then you can just buy the ETF. We already know that it levels off in the afternoon, right? So again, like some nice bump ups. The market's been going up, so FXI continues to move higher. I mean, it's up another 1.34%. But if you like the stories in China and you're a little bit like, I don't know which one to trade, I'm thinking about something like this. So I'm going to try to check out, you know, KWeb or FXI like that and see if we can find a base and then maybe take a little more shares. I know it's not going to move that much, but watch out for this and then sort of sidetrack it with an Alibaba, Baidu, and PDD and all that. But yeah, the biggest winner I think so anyways, over the last little while has been the PDD. They had that Temu app, and I mean, this is already trying to go. We were just recently at highs. This is another name that could be breaking through. I don't know when their earnings are. I can look it up, but it probably already happened. But 151.50 there. That's looking pretty good. Again, look at the bounce off the 200, bounce off 50.
Same day as NVIDIA.
Yeah, May 22nd. Okay, so wow, I didn't even realize it. They're reporting next week. PDD now on radar. I think that's a really good one as well.
All right, UAA trying to bounce here as well. Just held on to $6 there, trying to get higher. A little bit of volume coming back in, coming off their report. Pretty ugly downside in a big way, as we said out of the gate this morning. I saw a couple of people mentioning early on UA or UAA. It's just different class of shares. Typically, this one has far more volume than the single A.
Yeah, tough look here. Look, they beat on the top and bottom line. Well, not really on the top line. They came in line with expectations, $1.33 billion in revenue. But what they're guiding is really the scary part here. They're looking for low double-digit revenue decrease next year on this quarter. So not a good look. It's really driven by weak North American sales. That's hurt more than everywhere else in the country. Despite all that, there's a $500 million share buyback program for the Class C share, which I believe is UA.
I can double check on that. I was just going to mention, I still see Under Armour stuff everywhere.
Same.
Especially in the gym. It was a surprise to see that this morning, especially on the demand side. But I don't know, lots of competition here.
See, you saw it with Lululemon, right? So, you know, did you really expect Under Armour was going to be that great when Lulu got hit? It's not terribly surprising, but at the end of the day, we don't really trade this outside of earnings. It's a big-time flat bottom break. It's not going to open down short sell restricted unless it drops a couple points in the next 8 minutes or so. But it broke. This level's like 642. I kind of had this as like 638 on the body, but it is actually more like 640. Either way, that support turning into resistance is what I want to look for. It's already turned once at 630, so if it gets up in here, kind of gets into the 640, 650, I'd like to see it curl and then try to catch it on the way back in. If it was short sell restricted, maybe I'd change my mind on that, but I'd like that to settle down. It has to move into that level, show me a rejection, that previous support, presuming will turn into resistance. Once I see that happen, I'd be looking the other direction here on UAA, and then give it a couple of days. If it make some kind of a double bottom, I think there could be a reasonable dip buy. Lulu did a similar thing before eventually heading lower. So I think you could see that with Under Armour. There was just a decent move down in GameStop, by the way. And relative to what's happening in AMC, it does bear mentioning, I'll just do it this way for you guys. It does bear mentioning AMC holding the last few minutes here. There you go. At the 5 level and trying to bounce a little bit off $5 when that last little step down was a break of 34 on GameStop. So it's not a huge divergence, but these charts were basically the same. And then you got a little bit of a bounce through 5 that's trying to hold while GameStop took out some support at the open. So I think GameStop at the moment looks like the weaker one, down 15% versus 8, breaking a little bit lower. Remember that 31.5 level. If it halts at the open, I'll be looking for some kind of a bottom play. If it holds a couple of times, we might have to be patient looking for a turn. But looks like it's going to be the weak one, at least early.
So I think of another, I mean, I don't have too much to say about UAA, but I was just wondering about this 190.50 here on Apple. I mean, you're starting to get back up to the upside right now, despite what this NASDAQ is doing. The NASDAQ's still here at these lows. I mean, lows, down 0.3. But Apple up 0.26, and did we have a day yesterday on Apple or what? We were long off the stick, 188, 187, off some of these levels into the previous day's close. So previous day's close now for Apple, we're into here. We did have a nice little dip into the close, 189.60. So anything down here like 189.50 or something like that for Apple, I think that's a really another banger of an opportunity if we can get down there for Apple. So again, I'm not sure about what to think for today. We do have a few, numbers coming through. We have the Fed speak still coming. We did have a bad Philly Fed number. But here goes Apple right now. Look at this, still going higher. And I do want to throw to Brendan, just wait 1 second. We did have the imbalances that just came out right there. So Cisco, we didn't even talk about them. Didn't they report?
Yep.
Cisco down again, up, 1.3%. Thought it was below 50 bucks there. AMC, there it is. So AMC with a quick sell, Palantir with a quick buy, not much else happening. Meta with a sell. That could be interesting as well. Google with a buy. So, all right, back over to Brendan with a couple minutes left.
Quick here, day highs, LSDI, Lucy Scientific. They've bailed on this agreement to merge with Blue Sky Biological on March 5th. So that was going back to March 5th when that was announced. So they're not going to merge, it would appear. So yeah, tons of volume behind this. Just took out day highs there for LSDI.
All right, guys, we have moving average crossovers all week on how to trade with Deere and I. Today, specifically, we'll be talking about managing false signals and risk and crossovers. So check that out with her and I today at 11.
Yes, sir. And that Meta, which with the sell imbalance, that's down 1.33% into a flat market. And when you just saw Apple going to the upside. So Meta looking a little bit heavy. Before we get to the open, I don't want to forget about that FFIE Faraday. It didn't make the dollar break yesterday. It got to 97 a couple of times and then pulled back. If it can make that dollar break today, I do like it again. Just has to get there. In terms of dips, every time it made a dip, you really had to wait it out, see the curl. So this support at 65, when it bounced off VWAP, I almost feel like if it breaks that level, it's look for a retracement back through. If it fails 65, let it make some kind of another bottom. Tight to it along lines like this, and then try to go long on the way back up instead of catching a falling knife. Otherwise, we're looking for the break on that name. And as I said, Meta, a little bit heavy. It just got down to, this was kind of real. It broke 474. Monster day for Meta yesterday. I mean, it just kept on going and going and going. I feel like if we see 471, that looks like a pretty solid level. I don't know why Meta. There was one piece of news, the EU was.
We'll find out first.
No, the EU was doing some I don't know, investigation into harming kids and all that stuff. But that's not necessarily new. They've been doing that before.
I'm tired of those stories.
Everybody knows that they're under pressure for that, but that was the story this morning, and it's down despite the rocket ship that it was yesterday. So 471 looks like a pretty good level for Meta. Alphabet as well here, in addition to Apple. You can see the strength. The strength is in Apple. The strength is in Alphabet, both going to the upside. I had dipped by 171.50 on my note this morning, and I think that's probably out the window with this breaking the highs. Might have to move to a different level. We closed at 172.5, so might be something in the 172s that we look for. Is this
GME
just
to
another
100.
A hundo?
By the way, Apple's going, and the market's still a while to go here. We have Tesla also looking at a top. I'd like to short that to try it, and then we'll get the heck out of the way if that doesn't want to work out. But right now, Tesla's still positive. NASDAQ going to the downside. There goes Apple. We indicated that just a couple seconds ago that we like this stock, and yeah, we like the stock. So that one's starting to go back up to the upside there real quick. And then Intel was another. Actually, I don't have an order out on Intel yet. We'll have to put an order out down here. I don't think we're going to get to 31, but if we do, we are going to try to get some bids down there for INTC. Quickly, let's check on the stop. GameStop right now. We'll have to stop by this store here and pick up some 31s or so. Let's see what happens down there in and around 31. We are going to probably wind up waiting for a halt because I don't know what's going to happen here right off the jump. I am bidding 460 though for AMC. Why? Because yesterday I liked that 460 level coming into play yesterday, and then I wake up and see that that's where we were this morning. So I kind of like in and around here. I mean, I don't know the exact price. I feel like it's going to be a little chaotic here off the open. So let's just wait to see. I don't think it's a good idea to trade one without the other. We've seen them trade pretty closely tied together. So if AMC holds down, probably expect GME to fade a little bit and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and remember, GME is halted at the open 2 days in a row. Like within the first couple of minutes, it has halted twice. So that's why, like, I'm anticipating that if that happens again, I want to react to that as opposed to try to get into some kind of a position just because I like a dip buy. I'll let it go into a halt and then go from there. But Adara in 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it.
All right, so here we go. We have AMC right here. We have GME. We're going to wait to see which one opens up first. You can tell by big volume spikes in the candles and then a sorted out level 2. So right now we do not have anything popping off right now in those names. I did want to look at AMD, still back down into 160. GameStop still not open yet, but down to 33 and change. AMC 509. This could be open. I think this is open maybe, AMC. Yep, I see end prints. Okay, so we are open on AMC, and AMC right now is, there we go, we're now open on GameStop. Both starting to go higher right now. So here goes GME. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We may halt upside maybe early on GameStop. So a nice move from 33.50 all the way to 35. Here we go. Nice little move back upside on some of these names. Where's the halt on AMC? It's coming up. If you get to 550, 540, depending on where we opened, that's going to be the halt level there. GME just faded off VWAP 35. So again, you're going to need a 31 halt on this, it looks like roughly, based on the open, and then we just touched 35, so a fade back to 31 again should halt downside, 38 upside. I don't know if that's going to happen now as well. Walmart, as we had said, potential dip down right into VWAP, $63, so watch out for Walmart. We did kind of call that one.
Yeah, NVIDIA, not halting. I almost said no halt on GameStop, but NVIDIA moves to the downside, gets 944. AMD does not breach 160. Okay, maybe like a couple of cents to breach 160. I was looking for the go zone in between that and 59, so you're already catching a bounce. Going to have to be patient here. GME's still starting to run to this upside. It looks like it wants to take out that local high. If they go into an up halt, I'm going to go for it, is what it is. We want to take a shot at both of these. Whichever one wants to halt up first, we'll take a shot over there. But no go zone yet on advanced micro devices. And Alibaba was the other dip buy. Baba slightly heading down, not really moving just yet on Baba.
Yeah, we're not trying to get too excited here, but we're into Walmart again. We're at 63.15. We just bought a couple dips there in this name. We did indicate that we did like this name in and around VWAP. So we'll take it. Well, here we go. We'll get a nice little long here on Walmart. We are long at 63.14 as we approach into the 30s. Let's put another offer out there, as it's a couple times we've stopped in and around this area, and it is, which I don't want to play off 50-period moving average or anything right now, but we did take a couple pieces out right there. We still have 75% of this trade. A breakthrough 63, we'll get out. So 62.85, 62.89, break lower, we're going to get out of that one. AMC still dancing around 5, and we'll talk about all the stocks, but that's what's happening right now. GameStop down in. GameStop might halt lower soon.
Oh, goodness.
But nah, I guess it almost did right there as we, no, 35, you got to lose 350 on it, right? So you got to get down to 31.50. So, okay, almost 33 and change. Watch out for that. Walmart's still doing nothing. That's my early positions, or one position in my early thoughts. AMD did bounce.
It bounced 160. FFIE did absolutely nothing off the open, but look, AMD did bounce right at that level.
Yeah.
It goes like it was 1 second or so that it was underneath 160. So if you're on, if you were on the level 2 of
only thing I wasn't bidding,
AMC and GameStop,
bye Walmart,
then you're in the wrong spot. You have to get some higher lows, I think, here, as NVIDIA is still pulling back, but AMC showing strength.
There it is. Spin it. It's your first #1 trade here on the sticky note is the Walmart long off 63. We have one trade today. It's 55 cents in the money and still going. We're long at 63.10 right now on Walmart. I mean, this is exactly the trade that we wanted to put on, right? Pulled it back into VWAP. Let's take it out. We are actually now out of half of Walmart, but maybe this is going to be a special day for Walmart. So let's put another offer up around 63.90, and then we'll see if we can get higher. So far, so good. And by the way, we also did do a little something right here on AMD, although we missed our 160 bottom, like as if we wrote that down and it touched 160 and we're not long. Let's take a piece out right there at 161. But here it comes in right now. Look at the market fading out. AMD getting weaker. Walmart getting stronger. What's happening with the tech names right now? Walmart
is weak.
Yeah, okay. Walmart up to 63.80 right here.
Yeah, NVIDIA is just bouncing the second time off 945. I just got first look on AMD at the halves, but UAA Under Armour just punched into that 6.5 level. So I'm looking for it to turn here. I said I was not going to stand out in front of it. I wanted to catch it on the way back down from that level. But a little bit of a bounce, and NVIDIA is going to take AMD with it. I mean, hopefully. NVIDIA was one of the weaker names. It just dipped in. Hard to see with these wicks, but pre-market was right here, 160.5. I jumped in at 56, trying to get some out in front of 161. Okay, GameStop's making a run at the low again. I feel like if it breaks 33, you could get that first halt to the downside, but it's holding on for dear life at 33 GameStop. Adara.
Nice pop right off the open for the trade desk in a day two play. TTD got a nice little pop yesterday after Netflix announced it was be launching the in-house ad technology platform by the end of 2025. The trade desk does specialize in ad-related marketing, so nice look for them. Continuing to gain volume, nice pop here right off the open for TTD, guys.
All right, yeah, I am trying to. So we got some more AMD as well down there. We're long now at 160.70. We'll put another offer up there at 161. See if we can get some more shares on that, and then we'll put a little bit higher into 161.50 and see if we can get that. There's Walmart, and this is my trade so far of the day, obviously. As here it goes right back up. Let's see if we can get even higher and higher on Walmart. I mean, this is a good one. So Sirens up on that. It's exactly what we wrote. Dips to VWAP. Need to get long. So, I mean, we tried to make the sticky note as simple as it could be today, and that's what we did. So I hope you like the new format. It's easier for me to do that anyways. So there it is. Nice move here. Walmart, there it is. There's your first Dollar Club winner on Walmart as we're trying to now break through. $64. And again, it's not like we didn't call this. I mean, it's literally what we called. So nice move down there. And we did also call AMD long at 160. Unfortunately, that name, we didn't get that exact dip, but we still got some more. Let's see if we get a move up. We're still sitting here right now at 170. See if we can get another piece out on this move back to the upside. And today, so far, is a good day. So I hope you're enjoying it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe as we get some, yes, sir, Neil. Nice move up now, finally, on AMD. Your boy is in the building one more time. There it is. Yes, sir. Bang. Right there. That's a hot dog kind of a play so far today. We'll go deuces up right here. It's 937. Having fun yet?
Oh, yeah, and if NVIDIA breaks 950, this sucker is going to go. I'm talking about AMD. AMD's up 1%. NVIDIA is exactly flat. I did just jump into UAA. We're about 7 cents out of the money. We're giving it about 15 on that. GameStop's still trending lower. No halt, but it's still breaking the lows. The problem is it's moving so slowly to the downside that there's, I guess, no threat of a halt, unfortunately. But AMC's holding up really nice. This is definitely the strong one. If GameStop catches a big bid, AMC is hugging this $5 level. I feel like that's going to be the one you want to get into in the other direction. FFIE, Faraday futures, I'm never going to get that right. FFIE about to make the break at $1. So it's a big psychological level. Mentioned we're looking for this break yesterday. And obviously, you can see clear as day never happened. But it's at 92, getting pretty close. I'm going to get once it's above 90, the order goes in. It's now above 90, hunting for that dollar level. If it fails, I'm willing to get in and out and then take it even on a secondary break of that level on Faraday. Huge short float.
Yeah, all right, earnings on Walmart and sticky note continues to go. We're just putting this out because I just want everyone to notice that some of the plays that we have, especially on some of these nice names. Look at this one. Here we go. Oh my gosh. This was, again, a month maker if you had that 160 because now it's not just $1, but $2 in the money off 160. Let's take a piece out here. 162, might as well do that as we top out at the high side. We've still got shares on, so it's all good, baby, baby. It was all a dream when we got out of Walmart up there at 164, at 64. We only have a small piece left on that one, but let's go over to Adara.
We have another ad tech related company popping off of that Netflix news in a day two move here. MGNI, this is Magnite Inc. Also getting a price target increase to $20 from Craig Hallam this morning. So nice look there for Magnite and the trade desk, guys.
Right, go AMD, baby.
Yeah, go get going. Google, oh no, we missed a dip buy on. Yes, we did miss a dip buy on Alphabet. Cancel, cancel, cancel. We're not going to get in front of that pre-market low. We made the adjustment because Google was breaking the top when Apple did earlier, so we'll have to look for a VWAP retracement. When you don't get your level, all you got to do is work back over to it. AMD, 163 is a big level on AMD. I said I like that for a break in my note as well. That's here on the daily, so I'm covering out in front of 163 and then looking for a secondary play breaking the top. All right, FFIE is not even at 95 cents yet, so I think when it gets there, then I'm more on bigger alert for it. It's still a bit of a nothing burger on GameStop.
Yeah, we just went
So
long.
it's, nothing crazy yet, but it's holding the bottom. I'm gonna like AMC long off of this bounce level, I think, because AMC's been a little bit stronger. It's held on to 480 pretty well, and it just hasn't been falling as much.
Go. Okay, here we go. It's Sticky Note Nation. Put your hands up one more time if you're here, because we put down GameStop 32. GameStop 32 alert right there, 80 cents in your pocket. So right now, here it goes. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We're here at 33 to get a piece out. Can we get something out at 33 or not? Nice move up. Oh, come on. I'm literally at 33, just thinking it didn't matter. Maybe we could just get it out at 90 right now. All right, let's take an 88 out if we can get that. Cancel our 33s, but there it is. It's a nice move for GameStop. So shout out to everybody that's riding them bulls today. We've got $2 almost in the money on AMD. We have $1. There it is. Yes, sir. There's $1 on Game. Well, not $1. We're only 70 cents. 70 cents on GameStop as it continues to hopefully march higher, man. We're out right now of just 40% of this trade. So let's go. There's the 32. We wrote that down on the sticky note. I hope you guys are here looking at that one more time, because so far here on the sticky note today, let me zoom this up. I guess I got to check some of these responses here. AMD long 160. How that right now? John Travolta's like, huh? I should get into trading myself. Right there, Walmart dips to VWAP. We've already talked about that one. And then there's the GameStop 32 long, now $1 in the money. So today, once again, a pretty decent day to start. I mean, we have no idea where it's going to end, but we're doing quite nicely here as we wait to see if GameStop has the opportunity to make this something real special like. Okay, come on, AMD. We're sitting up here right now at 91. Did we just get that? No, we did not. But we will. Break yourself, fool. Little bit of a face slap right there for, again, a $2 winner off that note. Here we go. It's Walmart. It's GameStop, $1 winner. It's AMD, a winner. And it's up to you to hit the like and the subscribe, because you might have said, hey, Sean is doing this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but today's Thursday and tomorrow's Friday. We're doing it again. So get ready to get loaded here. There goes GameStop trying to get back up to the upside. We on one, baby.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I made one small pivot because I was going to go GameStop myself, but it never halted. Now, all I said was when we hit that bottom, I like AMC because it wasn't as low. So I'm playing it off of that 5. There's your wick bottom. I just love that setup. Wick bottom underneath 490. Grab the long back up just as I was watching GameStop just as it was cresting, and I just punched into the long. I added on the way up. We're going to scalp some off there, but I've just thrown a trail on AMD at this level because it's getting very close to that 163, and I said I'm getting out in front of 163. So once it gets up into the 70s, we're going to try to get that one out. I'm holding on to a quarter of my AMC position as long as we keep holding this $5 level. Only 2 longs, still nothing on FFIE. If it breaks, I'll let you guys know. You'll see it break $1. Madera.
If you're looking for a penny stock here, we have Green Wave running around a little bit. GWAV rested a little bit, now trying to pop up 100% on the day. Not seeing any news on this. Market cap of about $5 million. Nice pop here for GWAV, guys.
Oh, baby. Someone's putting some little fly me to the moon in there. What's up, Ozan? What's good, my guy? There it goes. Nice. I mean, AMD is like booming right now. I do feel like we are a little bit on the moon over here for sure with some of these trades here today. Just keep the momentum going is all I can say. Let me check out my next guy over here. What's up to Palantir? Nothing. That was easy. All right, what's up to Apple right now? All right, 190 and change. Okay, nice pullback for Apple. So maybe we are seeing something finally with Apple pulling back into some levels right now, pulling back into the 50-period moving average. All right, Apple might be broken a little bit right now. That's the 200 period. That's the 50, 190, 75. Possible long take here on Apple. Maybe we could try it. AMD's pulling back a little bit. Let's try Apple. Let's punch into a little bit here. There we go. We'll take a little bit of a bid there on Apple and see if we can hold 190. But an initial long for Apple coming into play right now off of 190 would be really nice to hold this level. But yesterday we dipped into 190.60 off close. So we'll take the long right now. We talked about it. Let's punch a little there and see if we can get higher here on our friend Apple. But GME is coming back in as well. So yeah, just a really good day, but you got to let things settle down. Long Apple right now. There it is. Look at that. What a day right there. Fire off another one. That's another 15 cents real quick there on Apple. Let's see if we go higher from here.
Yeah, just a nice, easy move there on AMD, but it just pulled back off pre-market highs. Gonna ring the register for myself. We talked about 163 on the daily chart being a big level and pre-market highs coming into play. So you're pulling back a little bit. I like VWAP bounces if we're gonna continue the trend. NVIDIA, for everyone that's watching NVIDIA here, it did break that break of $950, and it is still going. So I like the trend. We're gonna try to jump back in on VWAP on AMD, but so broke 950, you're seeing it pull back. I think if it bounces VWAP, AMD has a great chance to do the same. Unfortunately for Google, there is no VWAP retracement on Alphabet. So adjustments will have to again be made as Alphabet is completely flying. Look to buy dips in this. There has not really been a dip that came in enough. It happens, man. You're just going to have to miss it. We'll be patient on that AMD looking for the second one. It gave us exactly what we wanted first. Now we just have to play a patience game. Still not much going on. Wait a minute. Where is GameStop? AMC's right back to where it was before.
At the bottom again.
Okay, now I was about to say nothing going on, but then this just came out on AMC. AMC just came right back to my entry price. So it was a scalp trade when I saw GME turn. We scalped it into 511. I think 512 was maybe the top there. Got some out on the way down 5 and then took it all out break even. Now we're just going to wait for the next play. I was scalping AMC and then looking for the bigger halt type moves on GME yesterday, but there's been no halts on GME yet. I still think it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it happens to the upside.
I love the hope
we're
play.
long rate now, again, down here at 32 and change on GME. Again, our stop is going to be about 55. About 50 cents lower than where we are right now because, again, the best we took on this was that 70 cents when we got out at 33. So that was the best we took. So, again, here we go. We just reloaded it again. So just on that reload position, let's just take it out again if we can get something in the 70s one more time. And then we're still holding. I'm still holding on to 75%. I'm trying to get out, how many shares do I have? Right, a quarter at a time. So if we could do that, then it'll be all good. But we do realize that if it does fall back in, we're just trying not to, like, here it comes. Come on. Get it. Get me in the 70s, man. Get me in the 70s. We just reloaded that long at 20s. We just reloaded that long at 17s right there on GameStop. So a little bit of a bump up. We'll take it out right there. Go, 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 go. There we go. One more right there for GME. Holy Neil, we are on one, guys. Apple, 15 cents. AMD, $1.70. GameStop, 50 cents. Walmart, 90 cents. Like, this is all just, we have 4 trades on today. You like retail? How's Walmart doing? You like chip names? What up with that? We have the very bottom today in AMD. You like just big cap, indexy, there's Apple for you. Oh, you like the memes? Look no further. It's GME. So, I mean, let's just keep this party going, man. We're in everything right now for you guys today and really printing. Today's a trophy day to start. Will it end that way? I never know, but so far so good here as we go. So let's just keep this movement to the north side and keep the good vibes rolling.
Yeah, keep them vibes rolling. I'm making an adjustment to plan on FFIE. I'm still on the bid, VWAP. We're going to get back into AMD. We were one and done to our level, but here comes the move into $1. I don't think we came all this way not to make the bounce. I'm still going to go long on a dollar break in this stock, but I'm going to look to buy the dips going into it as well. So it's a slight adjustment because I like the momentum I'm seeing. It's a clean stair step to the upside, so I'm trying to pick some up back in front of that VWAP move. Still above $5, while NVIDIA just took out the top. NVIDIA just took out the top. I'm on VWAP on AMD, and NVIDIA is at $957. $975, I still think is a short zone on that stock. But AMD, if I'm not getting the dip, I'm taking a 163 break. That's this lineup here. It corresponds with a recent high on the daily chart. So I've really just traded. It's been a focus on AMC, nothing going on for GME for me. And then we'll get that FFIE if it breaks $1, or we'll play a dip back into 88. Oh, shoot. I forgot all about Robinhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, I mean, Apple's now at 190.50. It's just one of these things where it's like we got pretty much everything exactly where we needed it today. GameStop could be the one thing that sort of stalls out a little bit for us, but it could also blast. So I don't know, man. AMD is now $2 in the money. Apple, Professor, come on, baby. We're long at 190 on Apple. I don't know what else. It's at 190.74. That's 4 for 4 on these ideas, and they're all pretty big trades. So we're just sitting back here and relaxing. And for those that are like, this is an impossible job to do, I would say 98% of you would probably agree with that. But there is an opportunity to make money in this business, right? 4 for 4 here, straight to the jump at 950. This is where, like, for example, if I wasn't on the show giving you guys this, we'd be just chilling out right now, going to go spend some time with some fam, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of lifestyle that this job gives you, which if you're successful, and again, it's something that it does take a lot of time. I want you guys to go subscribe. Freedom Wealth Podcast. This is the kind of stuff we're going to be talking about. Just real people doing real things. And, not talking about like, oh, what color is my Lambo going to be? Because I'm going to leave that to Max. Where the hell's Max's Lambo thing?
I even wore his
we're going to be talking, we're going to be talking. Max is not even here, I don't think. He's in Japan. Yeah, right there, missing all this. So, but there we go, freedom. But that's what the whole point is. Freedom. Spend your life. Yeah, do those kind of things, right? As Max being, I think, the only graduated trader there behind us, Wayne's a manager, yeah. So that gives the opportunity to do stuff like that, right? So again, congratulations over there to everybody that is just stone cold chilling, because look what's happening right now. It's a hot dog kind of day right here again. Apple now 70 cents in the money and going higher. AMD going higher. GameStop trying to go. We've got it good. Hopefully that's understood.
You don't want to have it bad like
Usher.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, I'd love to have it like Usher though, man.
Obviously he's got some game. Very quickly, I updated my plan on FFIE was to just buy a dip on the higher lows. So I got 91s to 95s. If it breaks 90, I'm out looking for VWAP. If it continues to go higher, I still want that break of $1. But you can see the stair step to the upside, and we just want to be a part of that. So we grabbed a bit of a scalp trade. It was just an adjustment. I said I'm adjusting from only taking breakouts to buying the stair-step dip. AMC and GameStop, still no craziness, no halts, any of that nonsense. But let's just try to keep it in the pocket. The next thing I think happening is AMD's pulling back. I did not quite get that dip buy, just missed it off of VWAP. Still a chance that it can get right down in there to that 161.5. Getting that last dip was great. We just want to look for a little bit more of a patient one next. NVIDIA is starting to pull back a little bit. Alibaba, that's Blue Ocean, which, by the way, you can trade 24 hours at Real Trading because you can trade overnight markets in Blue Ocean. But we don't want to look at it there. BABA, not quite to VWAP. Looks like it wants to hold 82.5. So that VWAP retracement hasn't happened just yet. Just want to be a little bit patient with that bad boy. We'll trade penny stocks when they're in play. We traded Mullen when it's in play. It's just FFIE is doing, it did like almost 1 billion shares yesterday. Like, it was a different beast. And I think if it runs $1, it's still technically a penny stock in my estimation. But if it's going to trend into $1, there's a lot of room for it to continue going. I think that's the big level. We'll see what happens there. But my next trade, I think, is going to be that pullback in AMD. That's what we're ready for. Unless GameStop makes a fresh low, or we break back out at like 30, I have 33.5. There might not be much for those two names in terms of crazy volatility.
All right, Apple, $1, AMD, $2, GME coming back in a little bit. We are a little nervous. Nervous is the wrong word, but maybe concerned a little bit that GME may break this $32. It's not really moving at all. So that's what's kind of got me feeling a little bit of ways about all of this. I do feel like you have to be concerned when stocks kind of stop going and hang around, but maybe we are. I'm here to try to build now to get going. So let's just wait. Potentially this is that bottom that we had talked about. So far on GameStop, a couple ins, a couple outs, and finite. So now we'll have to wait to see what's happening, but I like the trade. We've already talked about that, and we're going to hold it for a little bit longer. If we can get another out at 33, then we'd love to do that. So a nice move back up into that area will be an out for moi. Disney, showing up on some scanners here. Good move, bouncing off VWAP. We like that trade. Up now 0.5% into a flattish market. Disney maybe found a bottom there. Again, Nelson Peltz was right here, and he said no, well, they said no, and all of a sudden it's been dipped down. They're not a great report for Disney coming back into, we talked about that, 105, 106, 107, and then now hitting that $100 mark, which may have sort of ignited something now maybe to the upside on Disney. So let's wait to see if that is still the case. I'm going to get another piece out here on Walmart. You know what? No, I'm not, actually. I'm not going to get another piece out on Walmart. We already got one out at 63.50 there. It is pulling back in, but I only have about, let me think, about 20% or a little bit less than that, maybe 15% left of our trade down there at VWAP. We were lucky enough to get that up to $64 into the pre-market, so we'll still stay on that one as Apple's pulling back a little bit, which is all good. We do only have 20% left of this one for Apple. Another pullback down in would be nice for that name. So far so good. Walmart trying to go. AMD is just dancing a little bit. I still like these levels. We're still at 162.50, but we are holding on to, I think, oh, this is 20% left here. We only have 4 outs. So 4 outs, 20% left of AMD. I still like the stock.
Yeah, it's still looking good. I mean, look, Google won't even think about a retracement, unfortunately. So like that stock is absolutely gone. The market is making a very, very large bounce. FFIE just tagged 97, so it looks like it's going to make that rally into the dollar level. Alert to Tesla. I know we've been talking about the stocks that we're trading and not in Tesla, but Tesla almost got green a second ago and pulling in a bit of a lower high. That brought me over to Rivian because Rivian's breaking out back above 10 and it made a big wipeout bottom. And look at this wick underneath yesterday's low. A wick bottom into a breakout. If this takes out 1040, I think Rivian could go squeezing on its own. It's got a bit of a short float. So I'm gonna put a stop order breakout on Rivian. I like that false bottom break through. And if Tesla's going to go and the market's going to go, why not Rivian? So 97.5 on FFIE. It's about to make the break, but I want to get this stop in first on Rivian, just in case it happens.
Right. I like that. I've looked at, it's Trader TV. Trader. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta get my Instagram.
Where's Meta?
What I wanted to look at was Tesla, because I know you just talked about Rivian. We had written down Tesla 176 for a short. It's much weaker than the market today. Oh my God, we're starting to go here. Come on, GameStop's starting to go upside. So this is starting to go. We're at 32.80s. Let's just offer it right there. Can we get that fill? Oh no. Oh no. Yes, sir. Wow, Neil, this is a face slapper of a day again. There goes GameStop up to the upside, baby. We've got it. It's a props kind of a day around here, guys. We are now mooning I don't know if we're mooning on the stock, but our net is starting to get a little excited, more excited than me for sure, as AMD, Apple, GameStop now. It's really just GameStop actually, now that I see this, what's moving around, so I shouldn't get excited about all the other positions, but right now Walmart is still that 50 cents in the money. AMD is still where we need it to be as well. Still trying to get higher here on AMD. Nice trade so far, but we always want more, right? Never be happy if your levels aren't hit yet. AMD still trying to go. Apple with the pullback. That's the one of most concern for me right now, Apple. But again, not too concerned, but definitely something to look at as it's been relatively weak there, trying to get the other way on Apple.
Yeah, Apple looking absolutely, well, I mean, it looks fantastic as far as I'm concerned. Like a dip buy, if it's going to trend up, you like those dip buys sometimes so you can be in it like all day long with multiple trades. I can't get one on Google, so I'm glad Apple's going for
GME.
you. I had the breakout. I'm in a dip buy on FFI. I know it's going to be a little convoluted because it's a 3-minute chart, but it broke out on FFIE, got to 10, pulled back in. I got 3s long. It just came back up and tagged 114. It went to the halt band at 114. 114 was actually the halt band, so it just resisted a halt, but we're above $1 on FFIE. If it does go into a halt, I'm going to hold through the halt. But the breakout trade was 1s into 8s, and then a dip buy down here into 3s as that continues to rally. AMC just broke 5 again, so I'm playing AMC above the $5 level. I'm going to try to get back into that. FFIE is going into a halt. See if I can get more shares. I don't know if I was a little bit late to that bid. The thing about a halt, and we've talked about this before. Okay, I ended up getting some shares. I ended up getting shares. I got really, really lucky. I was looking at AMC when FFIE went to the halt band. All you can do is jump onto the bid and hope to be filled if you want to be involved in the halt trade. I got filled with 1 second to go. If I was laser focused on level 2, the other day you saw, like Sean was on GameStop or AMC and I was slow to it, the faster you get the orders. And if you're taking a halt trade, the better chance you have of getting that filled, because it can only print down, it can't print up, the bids start stacking up. So it'll be a 5-minute halt, I'm assuming, on FFIE. In this particular case, I'll probably scalp some out on any kind of a reopen. So a few trades in here with a dip to 90, the break at 1, the dip to 102, and now we're into a halt trade, which is a bit of a different beast. So yeah, we can calm down on that one a little bit. FSRN, good look, Dyro in the chat.
What up,
Apologies if I
Dyro?
get that wrong. FSRN did move in sympathy with FFIE yesterday, so
Look
it is
at
one to
GameStop.
watch during this halt. Adara.
Look at AMD.
S&P 500 and the NASDAQ both having a little bit of a chop and churn, both pretty much flat on the day despite their excellent performances yesterday. Both of them closing at new all-time highs. We'll have to see if the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, these major indices here, can continue that move. We did get a slightly lower than expected, slightly higher, lower than expected print for the initial jobless claims. That's something worth noting here as well. And we have some Fed speak coming up. Starting at 10 a.m., we're getting Barkin and Barr. Harker, we're getting coming in at 10:30, and then some other speakers in the afternoon. So keep an eye on Fed comments here. We do have some other stocks to look at. JD, one of the earnings moves here, Chinese ADR, was initially pretty strong here off of a nice beat, now falling back a little bit, slightly down in the day. We also have Meta on watch here, very much to the downside, especially compared to some of these other Mag 7 names. The EU is investigating Meta for some child safety protection concerns. And last but not least, Under Armour, another earnings name, making a nice recovery here. Beat expectations with revenue and earnings per share, but pretty weak projections, initially bringing this one to the downside, guys.
All right, thank you, Adara. Walmart at day highs. GameStop at $1.50. AMD is now starting to go. I mean, I'm just trying to get out of some of these positions. We've already sort of talked about what we've been doing here. And when I lose money, it's because I now just was like, all right, let's go and start trading some stuff here randomly. And then when I lose on it, then I start to add into more positions and things like that. And then we start to get a little bit carried away. So right now, we'll take another out there on Apple as it comes up to 190.80. And we're just gonna basically chill out for a bit. Watch out, GameStop just did hit $34. That was VWAP. I thought we could take it and go. We're here to trade, obviously, so we've already done really well on GameStop, but we are playing with house money. At this point, we have 2 reloads. We could have had 3. We didn't do that third one. If we had done, well, we already got a piece out. If we had even more shares, I would definitely be taking more out right now. But at the same time, Neil and I talked about this yesterday on the show. Every trade, you got to sort of treat it potentially in a different bag. You got to look to say, okay, how many shares do I have? Am I comfortable holding this many shares at this level despite things potentially changing, right? And I mean, when I talk like that, nothing really has changed for me on GameStop. So we still have that 32 bottom, although if I had more shares on right now, I would be taking it out, but we've already taken 4 outs right now. So we still have got shares and we're still here to hopefully let this thing go higher, but I don't have any offers out for it, but that's kind of like where I am right now on this stock, letting it try to calm down a little bit and then make a move higher. Because if I just get out now and then it rips up, fine, but then we give up that opportunity cost. So I'm fine with this, even if this fades back out. The end result of the net will be what it is. We've already sort of planned that out, and I think that's the best way to look at what you're doing.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
what you got to do.
Yeah, and then there goes AMD now as well. It's like Neil talked about getting out of this position. We've took so many outs. So we had similar thoughts, like as it was going up, get out. We got out at VWAP. We got out there at 160, 150. I mean, I thought $1 was pretty good. Then I thought $2 was pretty good. But now we're $3 in the money on AMD. So from what is one thing to another, Walmart's at highs on the number one trade idea. Well, first of all, the number one trade idea is AMD long 160. So that's $3 in the money. The second trade idea is Walmart dip buys into VWAP, which is now there as well. So that's now $1 in the money. So there's lots of things happening. You just got to pick your spots. I feel like I do that really well, but then I also overtrade a lot. So we got to calm down, get back into the pocket, and I think we're doing that. And look at Apple. Remember when me and Neil just 10 minutes ago, we were talking about Apple, and I said Apple's pretty weak. And then we got out there, and now I have that 10% left as we pull right back into here. Is it a reload spot? Yes, potentially. Am I going to do it? No. So I'm going to see what happens. We've had a great morning so far. I'm going to watch GameStop and see what happens here with Apple, potentially down into 189.60 again.
So 3 things here. First, AMD, I did jump back into it. We want the breakout play through 163. We took the long into that, and then I just jumped in at 163. If it gets to the half, which it just did actually, let me get out of that one. And then second alert, FFIE got out on the reopen and then attempted to reverse when it did this. So let me zoom in. We'll get to there in a quick little second. So we did the move up, we had the halt, jumped out, and then it goes into a halt down. Tried the reversal immediately, didn't really get anything. It got pretty much everything on the halt down. So we're playing it in the other direction. That's a $1 fail as well on FFIE. So scalp some out of AMD, still the only other thing that I'm in. Just watch out. The only concern with AMD would be that NVIDIA just did this back underneath VWAP and heading to 950. But AMD seems like it's going to be stronger. Remember, AMD's so far away from its all-time high that I felt like it has a little bit more room to go. Let's go to ADRs.
Okay.
Keep an eye on VinFast here, another meme-related car stock making a nice pop to the upside. This one up about 13% right now, receiving 27,649 pre-orders for its VF3 within the first 66 hours of accepting deposits. So nice look here for VFS, guys.
Oh,
it's funny, we just talked about GameStop and what we were willing to do with it, and then it does exactly that. So there it goes again. Let's props it up to all my GameStoppers out there. Is that what they're called? Or are they called apes? We have this going on right now, and I don't consider myself an ape because we've gotten out of a bunch of stock, but there it is. It's GME. And look, there it is. AMD, Walmart, GME 32. I mean, Intel 31 doesn't hit, and Tesla 176 doesn't hit. Look at that out right there. We broke through view up. We let it go. We let it try to get to the upside. There it does. We offer it into that level ahead of the 200 period. So we get that 34. I'll take the exact price. Not that it really matters because I don't think you think everyone's just pretty much marketing into these things. 34.13 half right there. So a good out for us right there on GME. Let's watch out for AMD. AMD right now is having a little bit of a dance with itself. 162.70. If it breaks there, I can cancel my stop now for 30-cent loss and go to 162. Let's break 50. Let's give it break in 50. Fed's barking is now on CNBC.
Yeah, watch out for barking. I just got out of AMD back to 163.
Yeah, we're same way. So we just got out there as well. We just got out of AMD back down through 163.
Here comes VWAP.
We got a lower price on that one, so not a great price for me on that. Yeah, VWAP on what?
Oh, no, AMD. What
oh,
did I say?
yeah. You said VWAP.
Oh, I might have said AMC instead. Oh, I meant AMD's getting to VWAP right now with Barkin talking. Talking. It doesn't necessarily matter that AMD's overvalued. Its valuation is really high. We're just trading price action. We got the long. On AMD. Right in here. Got the scalp for a $0.50, and then it just came right through. So I had my stop back underneath that 93 level. AMC is pulling back. I know that was my bad. I know I probably actually said AMC. We're going to go to ADRs, but I like AMC if it can hold that $5 level. I did miss it that last time through trading FFIE. Let's go to ADRs.
We do have some comments coming through here from Fed's Barkins mentioning that one of the issues is that businesses are raising prices. This is something he's talked about in the past as well. So just keep in mind, we'll let you know if there's anything else coming here from Fed's Barkin. It's also worth noting here, though, AMD and NVIDIA both getting a bit of a downside push, but Wolf Research having its alpha list, AMD replacing NVIDIA. So AMD replacing NVIDIA here on Wolf Research's alpha list. Guys, keep an eye on those two.
Citron comes out with a report on Alibaba right now, but to the north side, remember, Alibaba's not doing Citron things anymore. They're doing positive notes. So we'll punch the long in Alibaba because we like that stock. And now we get a little bit of a catalyst, but Alibaba's already absolutely cruising. This has been a money buy for me in the longer term account right there for Alibaba because we hit this name pretty good early and we're long in the 70s on this name, low 70s. All right, so here we go. Alibaba's coming back in right now. Obviously, there was that Citron tweet. Maybe it wasn't as great as everybody thought. Things get leaked earlier, so a little bit of a pullback. We just took an 84 long. It's just kind of a little bit of a position, not a huge one. We do have many more shares in Apple because I got that long at 190 again. I mean, we talked about Apple coming in. That's when you were mentioning dipping into VWAP. We kind of, I said Apple was weak. We do have a stop a lot. Not a lot lower, just under 190. So if we break below 190, we are willing to get taken out of that trade. So let's take a few more pieces out here on Apple as we dance around these levels. So I was looking at Alibaba and missed the best spot there. But here comes Alibaba back in, 84.02. We are waiting for something in the teens and 20s in case we get a little bump up here for Alibaba. But over to Adara.
I'm going to summarize that note from Citron Research and Alibaba because it's pretty positive here, saying that they think that with the momentum, Alibaba could well go past that $100 price point, saying that they could emulate the success of Amazon and Microsoft in China. So not at all a bad look there on this Citron Research report for BABA, though Baba also got a bit of a push in tandem with JD on earnings earlier today as well.
And that's so I equated those guys. I equated
Yeah.
Baba to those guys yesterday on the show. So far so good, but it is pushing back.
Look, I love Alibaba.
Yeah.
But just very, very quickly, with the reopen on FFIE, a little bit of a scalp fest here in front of 94. So it halted down 94. Remember, I actually tried this reversal when it reopened up. I did get a few shares up here, but basically nothing. Like almost the entire bulk of the shares were at the 94 level for me. And it just dipped down in. I scalped out of it, and that's what we do. Like essentially scalp trading in both directions. But on that reopen, I was getting out in front of previous support there at 86, and now we'll let this one calm down. It's going to play the over/under game at $1. And I'm kind of done with the automatic break up, and automatic breakdown story. We just got AMD on a reloaded VWAP. We've got it 162.16. It ends up holding 162 almost exactly. We'll scalp back into the high of the day on that one. Still nothing happening on Google for me, unfortunately. I thought that like that last move in, like the market just pulled back when barking was barking. And Google did literally nothing. It's still at the high of the day. Like dip buying Alphabet is basically impossible today. I mean, if it's not going to go down, I mean, I guess I have to take a breakout at some point. There's no other play here, but there's no real level. Like 174 even's already gone up and down once. I guess we'll play the patience game. I don't really see like an obvious, why am I going long? The market just pulled back, and I'm supposed to break out the high. That does not feel right at all. So I guess I'm not going to trade Google unless we pull back into VWAP. A little bit disappointing. Bigfoot, we can trade less than $1 stock. I think correction there. We can't trade under $1 on the OTC markets at real trading, but we can trade penny stocks at will on any other market.
Like look at Alibaba. I mean, we bought for some reason, gave us that fill down there. I mean, I really like that little thing you have in your hair there today. Little what do you call those things? It's not a bow tie. Man, it's a hair clip. Like butterfly hair clip. I like it.
Where'd you get it from, Refrain? Because that's what you just said. I hear you.
Oh, you stole it from some kid on the street? Okay. I heard you. No, I won't tell everybody the details.
Why would you steal from a kid?
Whatever you're doing with,
At least steal,
it's interesting.
Whoa, my screen
Okay, so we are now, guys, let's just party on Wayne, party on Garth. GameStop is now $2 in the money. Walmart's $1. Alibaba's trying to go. I mean, this is exactly what we're doing here again today. We're having a heck of a lot of fun, and we're just watching this stock go. Something Carnival. Upside, man, 34.50 now, and going right now. Can we see 35.50? Can we see 36.50? Where are we going on GME? Where are we going on Alibaba right now? Back through? Okay, let's take another offer out here on Alibaba. All right, yeah, I like being a little calm down here while we're trading, and I feel like that's exactly what we're doing. We are now well up and just having ourselves a great day because we have Apple long down here at 190 multiple times, well, twice. This time's been really good, but again, we are almost out of it because I don't trust this stock. We sort of talked about that. So look at this stopping at around 130. I should have just put some offers up there. Let's do that one more time. Let's get some more offers up because if I don't trust the stock, then we can't be holding on to it. So that's Apple. We're going to get some more out of that one right now. I might actually get some out right now at 15. And again, this is all going to be based on your own share sizes and what you guys want to do. Alibaba, so that's 1 for 1. AMD, I'm not even going to discuss that. We already know what's going on there. Alibaba has been a really good trade. That's been good. The 84 break was not good. It was good initially when we got that first report. But, you know, Citron, again, just because of the way this name's been moving, another great name there for Alibaba, but up 4% today, that's a lot. So, well, 3.5%. So just be careful with that one. Apple just got us out, I think. Walmart's right back to 64. You know what? Let's not stare this gift horse in the face one more time. Let's get it out there at 63 and change. There it is. We'll spin that one. That is $1 in the money right there. So that's another hot dog cannon for y'all as well. So that's another trade. So that's 4 for 4. And then GameStop puts us at, I mean, this stock is putting us through the moon right now. Thank you, Mr. Randy, for that one. As GameStop, we pick the bottoms, and then we get upside there. So, yeah, big day today. Obviously, no LFT, but we're going to see if we can get going even more. Walmart continuously going $1, $2 in GameStop, Alibaba, whatever. We're going to hold on to that one. And then Apple at this point is just stacking stuff up. Right here, it's 10:15. I already know what's for lunch, but I'm saving that segment.
Yeah, we got today and tomorrow as well. So it's been a good day today. Can't complain about it. I just scalp traded AMC. I've only had 2 trades in AMC, and they've both been essentially the same pattern. Look for the wick bottom, and then on the way back up, go long as GameStop's not falling. And I said I'm going to do it at the $5 level. I did kind of miss it here. Like I could have gotten 99s. I ended up with 2s, scalped it to the same 10 level. Still no breakout of the top just yet, but some concern for me with AMD because it did just lose VWAP at the same time NVIDIA lost the 950 level. So we had that dip buy into VWAP. We got some out in the 40s, and then now you're going to see it break that trend back in. So unfortunately, you know, we can still hold the trend on the stock if it gets back above VWAP, but if we're going to test back into the 160, we wait for the 160 level to come back into play. It has been for me, a little more scalping, I think, than normal on a lot of these names, and still looking for the first retracement in Alphabet that we're able to get. This has been super strong. I like the dip buy on it. Unfortunately, it just never materialized. You had to have this long at the open and then continue with it. Meta's trying to make a bit of a floor as well. I had said I would take a Rivian break. Rivian, it's still holding the low, but you know, no breakout to be had yet on Rivian. I like the fact that it's holding the low, and it's got a monster gap if it can get through that 1040. But until then, we're just going to have to chill out. And apparently T-Money says Boeing is finally doing good things. I'll be happy with it, but I did no plans on trading Boeing. I thought I heard Sharif tell me there was somebody that there was more bad news with Boeing today. Not that I saw it myself.
Well, if there's news on Boeing, you can almost bet that it would be bad. So we can find out. I mean, Redera's right there.
It's a triple top on Boeing.
We can find out if there's something on Boeing for everybody. So Redera will be on that in a second. All right, let's just check in on another name. I'm just letting GameStop go now, so I'm not going to get out. I don't even have any offers out other than the punch out, breaking down through 32. So I'll still continue to look at it, but honestly, like Walmart, the way that's moving now, we're very, very pleased with that. As that continues to go higher, the dip buy into VWAP actually happened twice. It was so nice. We didn't have it the second time though. So yeah, GME and AMC right now is just a little boring. I do kind of agree with James Choi on that one, but boring is as boring does because, I mean, honestly, this has been a nice move upside. And if you're watching it, you could have based out there. You based out at the 50 again. You came back in, you touched it. Now it blasted back into the 200. I feel like technically it still is moving quite nice, and you're able to take a little bit of advantage of that. We only have less than 10% left of Walmart, so I got to get into something else. Let's look at Intel. I mean, I don't have to. Remember what I said, what I do badly? I think might be a chance to do that soon if we get too carried away here looking for other things. But so far, so good here on the day. Intel down to 31. No, that did not fill yet. We do not like the short in Intel, so I'm not taking that up there at 31.75, although it could have been had for sure on Intel, but did not take that one. So we'll move off of that for now. The other name was, Neil's already looked at NVIDIA, so let me look over quickly. I mean, not really, but let's just look over at ARM. 115 right now. Pulling back off, but again, still up that 1.29%. I'm not going to sound overly convinced about anything right now because of what the NASDAQ is doing. So we're not doing anything. We bounced off the 50. We're still at 18.7. We talked about that on the longer term time frame. So I don't really like the talk of like a position is no position, because then it's not really a position. But at the same time, there is, credence to just doing nothing if you don't see anything. So we still have 4 positions. So I'm not talking like, hopefully off kilter here, but we're going to just let what we have sort of ride. And that would be Alibaba, which is now just starting to go higher here. A big trade alert for us on Baba, by the way. I mean, we were able to get that little bottom down there. And so since then, there it is. You could have reloaded it again there. So it's not like this is a crazy position, but again, for Alibaba, I like this trade. Let's now see if we can get even higher on this. So we'll hold this, 37 cents in the money there, $1.90 in the money on GameStop, $1 on Walmart. And Apple's actually been completely fine right now. So Apple continuously going to the upside. This is a banger day, and I hope you guys are having one as well as crypto, Neil, 66,000. Actually, I got to check my crypto.
I meant to look at Doge for you guys because we have the quote on it, but I just haven't gotten to it.
That was Ramin that just sneezed there.
Yeah, bless you. Before we go to
it's all good. It's all good.
The only
Still a little upset about that whole hair clip thing about stealing it from a kid, but
oh, good. Well, you shouldn't steal from children. First of all, that's bad.
Tell that to Ramin.
That's bad. I love Ramin. Ramin, you know what?
No, she didn't. She said she got it on Etsy, I think.
On Etsy? People use Etsy.
What did you say
still?
again? From your orchid. Yeah, I know what an orchid is. I have a wife.
What an orchid is. She got it from an orchid. We thought she said stole it from a kid. Trust me, I heard the same thing you heard.
Yeah, I actually heard orchid. I was just creating hopefully content, but I don't know if it went over that well.
Before we go
no
back
kids were harmed in the making
ADR,
of that content. That is correct today, yet.
NVIDIA back through 950, market back through pre-market lows, AMD back through VWAP. That's the only thing I'm back into because Google is still going higher and higher and higher. Let's go to
Damn.
for the small cap recap. That's what it is.
IWM trying to form a little bit of a base here, slightly down in the day, more so than what we're seeing with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. But trying to find a little bit of strength here right now is the Russell 2000. A couple names to mention here, including Ascent Solar. This is ASTI. This one is a penny stock, announcing a collaboration with the University of Stuttgart for development and distributing some power generation technology. Next up here as well, we have MGNI. This one alongside Trade Desk and some of these other in-house ad-related companies. Moving off of yesterday's announcement that Netflix saying they're going to be looking for in-house ad technology by the end of 2025. And last but not least, we do have SBOW here up about 15%. Bloomberg reporting that Crescent Energy is in advanced talks to buy Silverbow, valuing the company at about $2.1 billion. That's noteworthy because Silverbow's current market cap is around $800 million, guys.
Okay, like Citron either just tweeted again or, Big Patty Ice just like, tweeted about it or something, because we bought Alibaba. You know where we're long Alibaba, everybody? 83.66 right now. So that is another Dollar Club winner for everybody right there on Alibaba. Like, what exactly is even happening here today? I don't know. Boom. Apple. Okay. AMD. Yep. We'll take that all day. Alibaba, we just talked about it. GameStop has been chef's kiss. Shout out to Chef Joe. I mean, is this not chef's kiss? I mean, on AMC, on GameStop. And then Walmart. So we're having a good day, and it just keeps on getting better and better. And we said we would do it, so let's just do it right now because, you know, I have some more content to discuss soon, so don't worry. There's more coming up. I don't want to get this wrong because I did delete it, so I got to actually now go into my all mail file and find this because I had read it earlier, now I forgot it. Today's menu for Thursday, May the 16th. Not too bad, actually. We'll see. There won't be too many of these left over, which is fine by me. I just really hope it's egg salad or tuna on the salad today. But today's menu, because 2 days ago it was some kind of noodle dish, and then that wound up on our salad yesterday. So I don't think this will wind up on the salad, but today's is, and how appropriate, because we've had a couple chicken dinner winners today. Needless to say, as Alibaba is now $1.30 in the money, it's chicken pot pie with rice and vegetables. So I think we'll slap a good one on that one. That's a good one. People like the chicken pot pie around here. So there it is. It is chicken pot pie is what's for lunch. But what's for trading right now, we may just tweet this one out as well. I mean, Alibaba, there it goes, man. We're a couple percentage points now in the money on that. We broke that news for you right here live. It was the Citron tweet sending this one through the moon. There goes Alibaba. But it was a difficult trade. I'm not here to say this was easy because we were able to, that's Apple, sorry. Oh, by the way, Apple, we're long Big Patty Ice at 190 flat right now on that, as we'll take some more out on the upside. But here's the Alibaba trade. Not only did I hit it way too early, but then we're able to get it back in there and then give lots of opportunities to get long. I feel like if you're not long Alibaba there, that was a huge miss for that because we got the story. It came through. There goes Alibaba to the upside. Not only was it a positive story, but it was also something, a stock that we knew we liked long. So it kind of just fell through right into our lap there. Alibaba, pretty much. Key. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as far as P&L goes, you know, we've got some good, decent trades here today, but Alibaba makes its way up the rung right now as well. The number one trade P&L-wise for me is actually going to be Apple because we've had numerous reloads on very, very strong positions. So today is that day that I've been waiting for. So
yeah, it's hard to complain. I got back into one position. Like I said, I can't get Google because, you know, there was no plan of action around that 174 top that I had. Everything I liked was like 70s and 71s and all that stuff, and Google's too strong. But AMD's giving you some dip buys off of VWAP. I was in it. It looked like it was breaking trend. When NVIDIA was, when NVIDIA was under 950 and it was breaking under, I'm getting out. Day. Then we're jumping back in at VWAP. Now we're up at the tops. Top, double top here on AMD. And the good part about this, NVIDIA hasn't even gotten to the high just yet. So if we pull back, I'll get out, take the dollar profit, and then jump back on the bid as it continues to go and go and go. Like I said, fresh highs on Alphabet. I do not want to be a chaser in this move. This could be the first dip buy that I think I'm willing to take. We're not going to get to VWAP on this one. I do think we have to look back at like 173, 50s, or 60s. Be careful. I've stopped trading FFIE, but if it gets back under $1, I'm going to play that fail trade. And with Tesla starting to make another run at that high of the day, or sorry, the opening range high, the high of the day is 175. If we break out that top on Tesla, I do not want to sleep on Rivian taking out the top. Nice little false bottom, held the low, then a breakout. Trying to keep it specific here. I thought we'd be trading a little bit more AMC, but it's just been essentially two trades for me on that stock. You know, it's a little bit, like if someone said it was boring, yeah. I mean, we have a couple of good like bounce back trades, exactly how we wanted. Wick bottom, take the break back up. I missed this one, but then we got the next one at 5. But there's really nothing else happening on it. So you just got to back off and go where the getting is good. Elon says Palantir might be popping soon. We can have a look at Palantir. It's 10:30. We're kind of in, as you guys know, like chill mode. I don't know if we're going to get that Google, but we'll keep there on it. Palantir, inside day for Palantir is what I would say. I want this one breaking out. I want it at 21 or breaking out is the way I feel about Palantir. So that's the 21 level, and the breakouts out and about above 22. If it gets through that, I think there's some room to rally. On an up day, certainly possible. I have an order set for a break on Rivian right now, if that takes out a local high. So Palantir, I like it at 22, but I think I like Rivian a little bit better. Here goes AMD, another fresh high. We got to put the trail. It just hit 164. And remember the difference as we were mentioning in the morning? NVIDIA is at the all-time high. AMD is just nowhere near it. So it wasn't about valuation. It was about room to rally. and AMD just had a little bit more of it in our estimation.
All right. So, I mean, we still have all the same trades. So, what I wanted to show you, everybody, was something here. So this is funny. Here's last night. So go find me at Trader TV, Sean. We talked about being in chill mode right here. Look at this. So here I am at the coaches meeting. So here's umpire. Yo, what's up, my guy right there? Sorry about the yell from my guy right there. Here's my daughter at the coaches meeting. Like, my wife is sitting there. She's like, dude, you guys are both doing whatever the heck we're doing. I mean, you want to talk about freedom and wealth? So, like, thanks to Neil for doing the recap show, but guess what? Cracking that whip again today. We leave here and go straight to this, and then we don't get home till 9 o'clock, and then we put the kids to bed, and then we chill out, and then we wake up, we come right in here immediately, and we do it all over again. This is why. And then she's up this morning, by the way, at 5:25 to be on the ice. She's insane. So my wife, bless both them. But anyways, I thought that was pretty cute. So go find that on. Oh, did High Park respond to that? No, not yet. High Park Little League. So there it is. Legit. Like, look at the catcher's equipment on this thing here. You know, she's even got those little pads in the back there for some support.
You got to be comfortable back.
Yeah, so that's just, I didn't even realize that she was there, to be honest with you, because normally if I bring up a kid, I bring up another kid, not my own kid. But we were a home team.
Well, the catcher, a lot of times, the catcher or the captain, one of the two.
So anyways, normally it's for rep games. They don't normally come out for house league, but she's a rep player too. So anyways, there it is right there. Yo, Brendan, you good here? Was Brendan good here? Right there. Shout out to everybody taking.
He has the same look in the.
And by the way, here's the walk-in talks. You can go find all of them too on here on Instagram if and when it loads. Ooh, this is when it was 13 weeks ago. Okay, so they're all there. Anyways, as we go. But yeah, we're just kind of delaying here because you know what? The more and more I look at these stocks, the higher they're going. So we like that. All right, let's go back over and talk a little bit about something that's also singing these days. Is crypto.
Interesting crypto-related story here coming out of the CME, which is a futures exchange. Financial Times reporting that some sources are saying CME is talking to some Bitcoin traders and looking to launch Bitcoin trading through the futures exchange. So nice look here if you are a futures trader and somebody's into Bitcoin. We also have as well here BTC itself. Nice pop yesterday on nice volume. Today falling down a little bit here, just barely below that 66,000 level. So a nice recovery for BTC after a bit of chop and churn around that 61,000, 63,000 level for quite a few days. Right now, Bitcoin up 2.5%. Like I said, just below that 66,000. Ethereum here just below that 3,000 level, slightly down in the day here. A little bit of mix for the rest of these crypto names, but Solana very strong, up 5.3%. Ripple up almost 1%. Shiba Inu and Cardano both up about 1 2/3%. So a lot of nice looks here, guys.
I kept promising I would pull up Dogecoin, but I was looking for a break of the high on Doge, and well, that's not going to happen. So we'll stick a fork in that one temporarily. It's down at 15, it looks like, and trending a little bit downside. So I guess not everything is going up today. A little surprising. I thought, like, why wouldn't crypto be doing a little bit better when the market's going higher? And obviously, Bitcoin's doing fine at 66. And look, I know Doge is something different, but I just trailed out of AMD there. And again, everyone's style's gonna be different. I tend to be station to station. We break out 164. So, I'm gonna trail that one. Any second now, FFIE is gonna break the high. Thank you for the super chat there, Jay.
I just want to interrupt you just quickly because you probably heard that as well. Bear Cave out with something on AMC. So again, I don't know much about this. I'm going to go short here on AMC. I'm still going to hold on to the GME. Normally, if I'm in one, I would get out of the other one. But I'm just going to play AMC because it could be specific to AMC. I don't know enough about it. Just hearing that there is, here it is, watching AMC Entertainment, the Bear Cave. We have Twitter open. We have TweetDeck open. We have all this stuff. So just hearing that Bear Cave has a note out on AMC right now. So that's all. I don't know. You guys do your own research. Like I haven't read it. I mean, it just dropped. So yeah. So that's what that is right now on AMC.
I find like if you're day trading, you're never going to read the whole report. I just usually, if it's like a really, really established company, if I hear fraud as a key word or something like that, and some real accounting investigations, usually I care about it.
Here we go.
There's a bit of a different story. So look, I had the breakout trade in FFIE. It's a triple top of sorts at $1.16. I kind of threw it in the chat. I'm like, it's going to go. So we took out on the scalp trade into 125 because dollar is key, 125 is key, 150 is key. Like you're just at this point when you have even dollar breaks and nonsense. Like there's no levels to like 180.
We're having a day here.
Like, that's all you can do. So I don't think it's getting to 180 necessarily. So scalp it. We take out all but 20% on that first move. We'll have a break-even stop, and now we're just going to let it ride. Google left without everybody today, Brad. And I'm glad it's going. I liked it. I guess I didn't love it. And I think it's, I'll stop to fail on myself. There was chances to get into Alphabet today. And I always said, there's no chance to buy a dip in Alphabet. I just mean I didn't get the dip in Alphabet. That's all. There were chances to get it today. Let's be real. But I'm not going to complain because it's been a good day. Hopefully someone's got that long. Let's go to Adair.
You want a little bit more of a sense of what was in that AMC report from Bear Cave? Took a quick look here. It is under a paywall, but I read the first little bit. We do basically have the Bear Cave saying that AMC is the worst positioned of the meme stocks and believe it is a dead company walking, to quote them. So pretty scathing report here for the Bear Cave with regards to AMC. Generally, though, not still continuing the downward trend, but if I see anything else here, I'll let you guys know.
All right. I mean, look, I think that most of us would probably agree with that. We've talked about AMC, how they've really diluted shareholders, and whether or not they're in a bad position as far as their business model. I mean, we've talked about that before. How many of us know sort of the last time we've been at theaters? I mean, I take the kids. We like to go. They did have a big weekend there with Planet of the Apes. I feel like that story is pushed down the road a little bit too much. I really think that movies and theaters are still a thing, but I just, maybe in valuation-wise, and again, good report, thanks for that, Adara, potentially AMC, just because of where we were, like we were $2, $3, like, I don't know, I could really see this name being back into that area. Like, whether or not it holds $3, I don't know, but, that's part of it, and, these guys got to put out reports, right? They got to get people to pay for them. And it's just like the SEC, like, everything's going so good, and then all of a sudden, it's like they're investigating, right? Like,
it's their business model.
Yeah, exactly. It's the business model. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, someone's got to get paid, so they got to investigate Meta and talk about like, they're showing bad things to kids or whatever that thing was for Europe today, right? So I'm not going to slander them. I don't know what the story was, but at the same time, you just got to be careful of what you're reading and what's out there because these stories exist, right? So AMC, it's probably nothing new or anything like that, but I'm going to go short based on that story, but still hold on to GameStop because I still believe that this goes higher. We've already taken a good piece out. And he dips down into 32. Potential reload. Let's see what happens here with AMC. The story kind of changes everything a little bit. So we'll just wait on that. Alibaba is pulling back a little bit, but we only have 10% left. Less than 10% left of Alibaba, actually. So that's kind of a nothing burger for us. Walmart, GME, Baba, Apple, all light. AMC, my heaviest position now.
Yeah, you'll see I'm only into FFIE, and I've got a trail on that one. We might get VWAP one more time. It's entirely possible on AMD. If we don't have another pullback into VWAP on AMD, it'll be like the 163 level I'll look for the dip by. As long as the trend is going up, then that's where I want to, that's where we're looking for a dip. And again, it comes down to that level. I want to see somebody bidding it. If we're just falling like a brick, falling like through a brick wall or something like that and the market's tanking, then I'm not just going to sit on the bid. Not at 1040. You've already made like the early morning money and you want to be a little more patient. Dips to VWAP at this time of day are a little bit different. Like I want to see it bounce, maybe even consolidate off a key level. Speaking of that, I know I keep coming back over to it, but 174 would be the spot. I'd look for a similar thing on Google. AMC, as you mentioned there with the story, I mean, the $5 level is right at VWAP. I paid for locates as well, and I'm just feeling like it's not going anywhere. And if it's not going up, and every time I've had the turn, like it's been a scalp for 10 cents. So if it's not going to go up with any gusto, then I like the short into VWAP on this. I know everyone wants to go upside, but sometimes you just got to play the direction. And it doesn't look very strong today, sorry to say. It is SSR though, but that's about it.
All right. Yeah, we're getting ready to walk. Yeah, Derek came out with, that Boeing news. Testing technologies to improve recycling. To improve recycling. Yeah, that is right. Deere's like, yep, that's right. Okay, so let's have a quick look here on Boeing. So again, nice move. Wow, up 3%. All right. Probably recycling parts would be my guess there, but you don't want to be in a plane that has recycled parts. Okay, so we're going to go to Adara.
That was my first reaction.
We got another sort of story adjacent to Boeing a little bit later. So basically, there are some reports that United Airlines is going to look to add new plans and routes after the FAA stopped its operational freeze. So that's tangentially related to Boeing. Other than that, though, there is that news that they're looking to increase their recycling. But that was the main thing here was that, or not the main thing, but the thing that came out later that's tangentially related is this United Airlines report that they might be looking to add new plans and routes after that FAA stopped or eased its operational freeze.
In a way that is different from or not directly connected with something that you were talking about or doing before. Tangentially. There you go. I mean, I read a lot, and I'm like, let me just check that one. Like, in context, obviously, it's easy, because Deere is smart like that. She'll make sure she uses it in context so we know what's going on. But the word of the day, tangentially there. No breakout on Rivian just yet. Playing the patience game. Boeing is pulling back. I think Boeing could be a bit of a VWAP play as well off of 181. Heck, man. It's been a super strong name. My daily chart's kind of jacked, but look at this top. Have you shown the 15-minute? Before we go to Adara, this is the 15-minute on Boeing. Can we quickly go to the 15-minute chart? Is it cool? Can we? Thank you. Triple top on Boeing, and look at this break, 182. So if it dips back in, this 182 level, which just broke out and failed recently, sets up right here, and then VWAP 81. If it takes out 84, I think it's a triple top breakout. So I'm going to look for longs in Boeing back into VWAP here. Now we can go to Adara Sector Watch. Thanks. It looks like a
Kind of a mixed picture here for the different sectors. Definitely some weakness to talk about here in producer manufacturing, led, of course, by Deere after its earnings. A little bit of weakness in consumer services as well, though Disney making a nice pop to the upside after some weakness yesterday. Communications strong, energy minerals a bit mixed, retail technology pretty strong. A lot of weakness in finance, but it is worth noting BRKB pretty strong here, and Chubb also related here to the BRKB news. Berkshire Hathaway saying that is the secret, that the stock they were quote unquote secretly investing in has been revealed to be Chubb. Taking a stake in that company is revealed through their 13F filing, so nice look there. But also worth noting here, a lot of strength in consumer non-durables and retail trade. Walmart, of course, leading retail trade to the upside on its earnings, but we do have Home Depot a little bit lower after earnings earlier this week, and Lowe's to the downside. Lowe's reports next week, so still definitely retail earnings here on watch on the horizon. Also, semiconductors a bit mixed here in the electronic technology sector, guys.
I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.
Exactly.
That's right. We do pity that fool. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you like the show. Like the show. It takes 2 seconds out of your day, everybody. I gotta shoot a new one for sure there. Look, we gotta get a new one in there. I want to get something for everybody out there. But are we gonna get into this? Let's get it started. Once again, we gotta go over what's happening in these meme stocks. And the reality is a little bit less volatility today and a big time pullback on both GME and AMC has people asking the question, is this over? Is the rally done? Was that all that there is to see? And obviously AMC's been weighed down by a little bit of a debt restructure, debt to equity swap there. They completed $250 million stock sale. They're down 10% to GameStop's 15. You're almost back to levels that they were at a couple of days ago when we were just starting this rally. So not all moves or squeezes are going to be alike, but it does feel like, at least today, Sean, some of the air coming out of the sales. When the bounces have been there, they're good. They're not great. Is this over already?
It could be. I mean, I want to go here. What sort of sparked all of this, right? So here we go. Look at all of these posts by Roaring Kitty. I mean, it just goes on and on. TikTok, movies, CNBC posts. These are all just an hour, a day ago, hours ago. All of these posts, right? trying to get rally. It's going. You go all the way back. It's nonstop. It's nonstop. And then even today, right? This is 28 minutes ago. Kill Bill? So look, do I think this rally still has legs? Yes, I do. All right? But it's definitely dying down with a lot of these sort of memes that are being posted out there right now. Look at GameStop. We've been buying this dip here, and it really hasn't continued forward, right? So it's had a nice couple of days. I don't really know what Roaring Kitty is trying to do with a lot of these posts, but for right now, it's kind of just holding things steady. I thought with all the movies, we could get AMC going. Now today, we just got a bear cave report. That could send this name to the downside. I've written down here on the sticky note longs. I still really like the longs in the space. There's no doubt about that. I think that there's been some, pent up sort of bad feelings about this over the last couple days. But as we start to settle down, I feel like we're coming into some decent levels here in and around $30, $32 where we bought some of these dips. But again, play the momentum to the upside. You can make a lot of money trading these intraday and not waiting for this YOLO, because what's next? Like, we got to figure out what is the next thing that rallies these stocks. We've seen maybe Elon has to come out with something. Crypto's trying to move around again. If crypto can hold some of these highs, I could see some of these meme stocks continuously rallying, as well as funds come maybe out of crypto and then into the option game for some of these big names like AMC and GameStop.
Yeah, and worth pointing out, you're going to get all the same headlines that you saw the last time through, right? So on any kind of a down move, you just have one up here, GameStop, AMC tumble as meme stock rally fizzles after just 2 days. I just want to point something out. Look, obviously, the idea that the same thing is going to happen is a bit far-fetched, because anybody caught in shorts kind of saw what happened last time. It'll be a little bit different this time. People that would have been holding forever are going to be smarter about taking their profits. All these things can put pressure on it. But if you do look at the mechanics of how it happened on a weekly, 1, 2, 3 three up weeks, with the third one being the biggest, and then a big pullback, and then a second move, 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then a pullback, and then the next big move up, 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then a pullback. So what you essentially have here currently on GameStop is 1, 2, 3, with the third week being the biggest, and then a pullback. And if it were to follow the exact same pattern as before, then you are waiting a little bit for the next rally, if in fact it is in that dip mode. I'm just talking about if it follows the exact same pattern as before, which is never a guarantee. But if you want to talk about like what is next, NVIDIA reports next week on the 22nd. SMCI just goes absolutely nuts here. And if you start talking about catalysts coming up, every single day you can look at Wall Street Bets, and NVIDIA, SMCI are always going to be in the top 5 symbols. They haven't gone anywhere, and that's been true for quite some time. And there's all the reasons why semi's going to be big, AI and all that good stuff. So they list a couple of names that they're looking at, and one of them happens to be a bit of a squeeze name in the play. But at the end of the day, I think you go right back to the well while these calm down. You start thinking about the big moves happening in your NVIDIAs and your SMCIs, and that's where everyone's attention is going to be for a week or two. They just had a massive rally, and then they report next week. So, maybe if we're taking a break and it follows the pattern from before, a couple of weeks, then a big third, and then you pull back, well, good timing, because we got semis coming up.
I'll give you one more play that I think you can look at. You can look at Tesla, I think. I think Tesla trying to be above the 50-period moving average could be another one. This can be meme-type trading as we get back up to the upside. I like Tesla. I think there's a lot of opportunity with this name as well. But hey, for analysis, for continuous trading, man, we're trading these names every single day. We're trading the BlackBerries of the world, the GME, the AMC. Make sure you do hit that like, subscribe. This is at Tradertv.live. We're broadcasting all day. You get a move in the middle of the day, you watch us. You get a move in the pre-market, we're on at 8:30. The recap show starts at 4 o'clock as well. We're all over the place. It's Trader TV Live. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's meme crazy. Will it stop? I don't think so. All right, let's get back over to this. So right now, as we talk about that, we are getting a little bit of a pushback down now in GME as it's falling a little bit by the wayside here, coming back into 32.50. So again, it's funny because we talked about that sort of report there coming through on everyone's friend AMC, and that didn't really go down, although we've made money on it because we've been short. But at the same time, it's not moving anywhere sort of what I thought it would. So right now, AMC kind of just hovering. We've been getting some pieces out. We're pretty happy with it. It's been a good day trade for us so far, but we're getting lighter and lighter on this one, as I don't necessarily want to be holding all day on this for sure. I'd rather be long on all of these names. So Apple, nice pullback. Again, we're light on everything, but still need to make a little bit of money here as we're looking for a pullback in now on Apple, maybe reloading that 190. We've just been holding pieces. So as a lot of this comes down, it's not that we're doing it frivolously or anything. We're holding these pieces. I want to see if we can continue this extension. Often here, I've made not mistakes, but I've gotten out and looked back at the end of the day and been like, wow, that was a mistake. And it's just like Alibaba, like look how much this name wants to go. It is continuously going higher here. We have 83.66 right now. This is $2.30 in the money on a report given to you live right here. Like I said, oh, Alibaba, Citron, punch long. And not only did we punch long, this went against me 30 cents. You know, but again, I don't know why I don't have this confidence. Maybe it's better if Adara keeps saying it. But, you know, it's about getting involved in something that you believe in and sticking with it. Look at Alibaba now, 86. Now we have a small piece, so I got to work on my own things here of trying to hold something a little bit longer. But this is a huge net trade today, and needless to say, we have 0 red names. We've got Apple with a huge piece. We've got AMC, which has done nicely. AMD is only $4 in the money off that 160 call. So that's all right. We've got Alibaba. We just talked about it. We've got GameStop. Cannot go red on this name, obviously. And Walmart with the beauty that started it all at 931. So good day, yes. Could it be better? Yes. Will it get better? Yes.
Always.
So right now it is going to be a hugely trophy day, but that trophy can turn into disaster if you make wrong moves. So make sure you have your stop orders out there. Make sure you do everything you want. And I know this is not what you mean, Ramin, but she just said money, money, money a bunch of times in the ear. So that's why we do this. You don't day trade just for fun. You day trade to make a living and to make some money. So on that note, let's go back over to the desk with Adara for Money Talks.
Bit of a pop-up for the DXY here, bouncing off that 104.05, 104.10 area a little bit here. Area that we did see a little bit as some previous resistance and support going back into early 2024, late 2023. So this could be an interesting area for the DXY to bounce off, especially after quite a few days of weakness here. We did get those initial jobless claims. Those are the main numbers we got today. Bit stronger than expected, 200 or a bit more initial jobless claims than expected. 222,000 versus 219,000 expected, but still slightly below that prior number of 232. We also did get some comments from Feds Barkin saying that he believes inflation is coming down and will take more time. And I found this one pretty interesting as well. Feds Barkin saying that the inflation story is longer term than what we're seeing in the market. So we've talked a lot about how these market reactions aren't always necessarily going to be what we expect from these inflation numbers. And Feds Barkin saying that that doesn't really matter. The inflation story is going to occur over a longer period of time. We also do have comments from Feds Mester and Bostic coming in the rest of the day. Tomorrow, not a lot of data here, but another round of Fed speakers. Kashkari, Waller, and Daly speaking on Friday. So keep an eye out for more Fed speak, guys.
We always tag, thank you, Adara, we always tag Real Trading. And I want to give a big shout out to our #1 sponsor, Real Trading, because this is exactly, if you're trading on a prop floor or anything like that, all of these trades that I have here today are all simple and easy, well documented. I feel like talked about well. So I'm just, today, if anything, might be one of the best days for me in my trading history, just because everything has been exactly what we had thought about. The trading has worked out for us. We've been having some success with the meme, obviously. We've been having success with earnings. We've been having success with news. I mean, part of my feels is honestly because of what Baba's doing. And then we got another play there off the open as well with AMD, where I just said we've been long AMD. I mean, remember today when I held up about these 400 sticky notes that are right here? And I said that we were going long on AMD because of how strongly we've felt about this sector over the last little while. Well, I mean, there it is, and it worked out, honestly, the best. obviously getting out there at 162.50 for $2.50 now that it's $4.50 in the money seems like a mistake, but at the same time, we just look down and we say, doesn't look like we're making too many mistakes today. So we're going to stick with that, trade your book, trade what you do best. And it feels like right now, and this is why I'm saying that it feels like a really good day, is because despite what we always say, figure out what you're good at, figure out what you do best. Today we've traded like basically 5 different styles and they've all worked. So, I mean, look at Alibaba right now. I mean, still going. Things working out well today. These days don't happen too often, so definitely worth celebrating with only 7 minutes left. Chicken pot pie for lunch, healthy salad for this guy, and to the old man to my right.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
Sharif.
I love the salad. No, come on, man. The Sharif, look, man, the salad's delicious. You're gonna see it's a bit of a different day, but I'm not gonna complain about it. I've done more getting in and getting out of positions, but yesterday was a rough day. It was a red day. We make it back today, so we kept it in the pocket yesterday. And at the end of the day, AMD gave you some opportunities, but I want to, before we get to that and get out of here, I just want to shout out Vinu in the chat here for the super chat. We appreciate you. We'll like that super chat. You're watching less and less of CNBC. Everything has its place. When I was younger, I remember watching Kudlow and Kramer, and I was kind of like a higher brow, like long-term investing about the markets and economics and all that stuff, and it was entertaining, but it really had nothing to do with what was active, and that's what we're here doing. Now, I had I'm not even calling it a misstep in AMD, but I did have the one reload off of VWAP that didn't hit, and we stopped it out. We jumped back into it off of VWAP, and now it's starting to break out those highs. So I didn't get back in. I thought if it wasn't VWAP, it would be this 163, and I might have missed that little curl. But at this time of day, I want to be patient with any dip buys that we do or don't get. And the next thing I think could be, I was just out of FFIE. We had the breakout trade there. It went to 125. It came back underneath. I took out the last that we were holding for a push. But now you're starting to see some weakness in this. If it can't hold the original halt price at 16, if you're starting to think about where this could pull back to, if it gets back underneath $1, like this is day 3 essentially for FFIE, and the stock was like 5 cents before this. So suffice to say, it's a gigantic short float, but if it loses this halt level and then loses $1, it's underneath VWAP, and I'd be looking back into the short one more time on that name. That's what it's all about. And again, it's just about finding your style, finding your levels. I am still looking for that AMC short. It was just in and outs for me. I said I was going to play off of bounces on AMC early on, so it got the wick bottom. We punched into a long, scalped out. We did it one more time, and now all of a sudden it's not even getting to 5 for any strength, so it looks weak. I want a short VWAP. It can't even get to VWAP just yet. And Rivian, yes, Cass. We had mentioned Rivian for the break. And not the break of today's high, the break of yesterday's morning range, resistance at 1040. So we break that, we're going long into Rivian, give it back into that previous level, which is like about 1030, 1032. So Rivian's gonna break any second now. I think we're gonna go higher. Google is the missed opportunity of the day for me. There's no question about it, because I was looking dip buy, and as everybody can tell, Google does not care what anybody wants today. Google wants no part of VWAP. But lunchtime, I think you can get patient. The market's going to continue to rally, it looks like here. So we can try to find Google somewhere else. Like I said, 174 I'm looking for. And maybe we just take a 175 break as well on Alphabet. That's another play we could be doing. My eyeballs are also over here on FFIE. If it loses the halt level, it's either a $1 bounce or this thing could go bust. The halt level was $1.16. So if it can hold on to that, great. I think it has a chance for another double top break. But if it doesn't, I'm looking for that pullback into the 1 even, which just so happens to be VWAP as well.
All right, with only a couple more minutes left, guys, we just took some more out on Apple. We're underneath VWAP. I mean, we don't have too many trades today, to be honest with you. We have about 70 fills in general, which is pretty good. Most of the fills coming. Let me just find out what stock most of them are on right now. It's actually pretty even. 23 fills on Apple, which is pretty good. I mean, not the end of the world. Very few fills on AMD because we took it and then we traded it pretty good, man. We We really held a decent amount for that level, although it's now 165, so it's going to look a little silly for that, but we've talked about that. So that's going, and then Walmart, few fills on Walmart as well. Feel really strongly about this as we hold this a little bit. Strongly about the trade. I mean, we're pretty much out of all of these trades right now, but it's really Alibaba that's really booming to the upside here again. We'll wait. If we break back down below 86, let's get out of that. Do you know where my stop is on this? I mean, 83.47. So 83.47 stop. So we have a 20-cent stop for a $3 winner. So 15 to 1, I don't know. They say never do math live on air. That's probably wrong. But there it is right there, 86 right there. That's why I don't do that whole ratio thing. I don't really, I'm just looking now at that just to show you guys that when you do have levels, this is a news play, but I just used 83.50 when I went long. So now my stop is 83, I'm long 83.66, but I wasn't before. So right now that's something that we're looking at with Alibaba. Nice move down, upside for that. Possibly getting out if we break back down below 86. AMC's having a little bit of a move down. Again, it's gonna be good for me because I'm short, but this was on that bear cave report, and it looks like GameStop also breaking lower. We're gonna make money on, we're gonna make a lot of money on GameStop today, and then we're also gonna wait out for AMC to make a move downside as well. So far so good here, but I mean.
2 for 2 news plays, and you know what? If not for the news play on AMC, there really hasn't been that much on that stock. Outside of that one report down.
But you're back into the lows that we like, 480.
Well, that is also true, but I want to get to this, and look, Kenneth, I'm sorry we missed that super chat. You know, obviously sometimes you get a little bit busy, and we got V-News, we didn't get yours. 10 super chat on VST. So before we get out of here, I'm going to go over it for you because I think you did find a good one.
I bought more GameStop.
Look, anytime resistance turns into support, there is a double bottom support on the 15. There is a double top, and you see it bounce twice. Like I'm making a couple of assumptions here that you have something along here. Whoa. GameStop's tanking?
Yeah, GameStop just broke the bottom
Look,
there.
I like your look there, Kenneth. I think you found a good one, that 95 level.
Here we go.
VST.
It's spinning around right now. Let's go. Let's get to the downside AMC. We are starting to break a little bit lower there right now. And again, we tried GME. You heard me say I bought more GME right there at 31, but there, so 32, sorry. And then there's the break lower, 31.60 out. Now we're starting to get low. What's up, Randy? As we go. So,
whoa, what's
I don't know if this is the Apple bottom for AMC or not, but we've already talked about 460 as a possible area for concern. So, Randy, we're short right there at 5 as this starts to come back into the downside. Randy, we're 6 for 6 today. There it is. Thank you so much for that. As we get ready to rock and roll, it is, however, 11:01, and we're having a hell of a lot of fun. You're about to have a lot more fun with our flagship show. It is the midday show. It is right now. It is Sharif. It is Adara, and it's about to get real. Let's go.
Bang, bang, bang. Thank you, Katita Man. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as that midday show. The person that you can't see to my left is that girl, Adara. And what are you doing, Rammer? Welcome, guys. All right, we already have some OGs already there in the chat. We got Alex, Enzo, baby. We got Darwin. We got Fat Figa. We got Off Grid. We got Alex, Enzo, as well as Market Sniper. So we're waiting for some more people to head on over from the other stream, and then we'll